we go. Welcome, Creative Solutions. Oh, yeah. About to start this party. Mic check 1, 2. If you can hear me, put DJ Torch in the chat just so I know what's up. In the house, all things Nata Jean, Gemini, Monica M, Bridget Mouton, Creative Solution. Change my glasses. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. We're about to do this right now. Let's go. Intro. Oops, that's not what I was looking for. Let me go back.
All right, y'all. Anton Daniels is a YouTuber who is bragging about his money and begging people to join his Patreon. This video is to look at the paperwork and see if he's actually who he says he is or if he's lying to the YouTube community. You know, we don't like liars and we like good character. We like people who are honest. So let's look at it.
Let me show you my Versace sandals. My Versace, they kick. One thing that I never ever.
All right, let's get this party started. Uh-oh, what is going on with this motherfucking thing again? I think somebody doing something. That's what I think was going on.
Ever do, ever. It's finance. Anything.
Yo, this is where he capping, y'all, and I'm gonna hold him accountable. Pay attention to what just happened.
Anton Daniels says he doesn't finance anything, but these documents tell a different story. In 2019, he was ordered to pay $15,000 to Discover Card, $8,000 to American Express, and $3,900 to Ford Motor Credit Company. 2 credit cards and 1 car note. For a man who does not finance anything, why does he owe these creditors money?
In the house, Don Harden. In the house, Quita Ward.
This is what my budget is for the week.
It's what my budget is for the week.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And it's funny because me and Angry Man, we was talking, because he was here in Detroit, and so we were talking in the studio, and he was like, "Yo, it was so much harder because we had to figure it out on the fly.
He's playing that Sambo role threat, and everybody want to see Sambo dance.
We had to build the plane while we were trying to fly it at the same time. But a lot of people look at
he's playing that Sambo role threat, and everybody want to see Sambo dance.
The successes, or they look at what they think we make.
See the subtotal? The taxes that I spent? This is my real life, bro.
This is my real life, bro. Not quite.
This is my receipt from the jewelry store.
Now,
Interesting. Okay. Let me try something a little different here. I could do that over here. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the room. Welcome, Flawless. Glad everybody's in the house. Okay, that all looks good. All right. Right, let's do this.
All right, y'all. Anton Daniels is a YouTuber. card, $8,000 to American Express, and $3,900 to Ford Motor Credit Company. 2 credit cards and 1 car note. For a man who does not finance anything, why does he owe these creditors money?
Got him. Got him.
This is what my budget is for the week.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And it's funny because me and Angry Man, we was talking, because he was here in Detroit, and so we were talking in the studio, and he was like, "Yo, it was so much harder because we had to figure it out on the fly.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
We had to build the plane while we were trying to fly it at the same time. But a lot of people look at
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
The successes, or they look at what they think we make.
See the solo, the taxes I spent. This is my real life, bro. This is my receipt from the jewelry store.
Now, all you black folks, I suggest you get away from all these white folks. Not you, Stephen. You right where you belong.
Now, he just showed you a receipt for $38,000, and he says that's his weekly budget, $38,000. He said that's his piss money. But in this next video, he's going to talk about not being able to afford to sit courtside at a Detroit Pistons game. FYI, it only costs $1,700 for a courtside seat at a Pistons game. If you buy season tickets, it is $1,700 a game. That's not a lot of money. Let's listen.
JR, you always want to upgrade. So it's like I'm not going to be satisfied till I'm sitting center court for the whole season. How you doing?
Now, in this next clip, we're going to hear him talk about his profitable restaurant, the restaurant that closed after only 2 years in business. He says it was profitable, but I have paperwork that says otherwise. Check it out.
Really fun ride. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. You know, I got the type of education that you can't get, and I was profitable. You know, a lot of people can't say that they was profitable.
And then I was one of the fortunate ones that actually really did still have the capital to be able to do so without taking out loans or taking on partners or anything like that. But a lot of people don't. And what you find is that yo, this is where you're capping, y'all, and I'm gonna hold them accountable. Pay attention to what just happened.
Now, according to the state of Michigan, in a UCC filing, Anton Daniels and Sweet Soul Kitchen LLC, they are both in debt to Thomas Hospitality Group. They are in debt. They owe money, and this UCC filing is a lien. They need to pay up. That lien, it's still active. Let me show you where you can go find it. Sweet Soul Kitchen has 3 active liens. There's 2 UCC liens and 1 state tax lien.
A lien is a debt.
Can't make this shit up, people.
A lien is a debt.
They owe money and or property. That is a fact. Anton Daniels specifically has a UCC lien. He is in debt. He owes money and or property. That is a fact. He owes it to Thomas Hospitality Group. Now we have another document showing that the Sweet Soul Kitchen LLC was dissolved February 18th, 2020. The UCC filing was filed January 5th, 2020. So you see the filing was completed January, and then they went to dissolve the LLC in February. We don't know if he's if he's trying to run away from that debt, right? Because he told you guys that he doesn't finance anything. But according to the state of Michigan, he's in debt. He owes some money. So for a man that's balling out of control, multi-millionaire, why you can't pay your bills, player? I'm just saying, somebody ain't telling the truth.
Streams. Check my numbers. I got over 8 million views, bro. I am a legend.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. She's the enemy.
He's playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
We had to build the plane while we were trying to fly it at the same time. But a lot of people look at the successes, or they look at what they think.
He's playing that Sambo role.
Playing that Sambo role.
Enemy than the white man ever has. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community, because she's the very person that comes in with deceit
and looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you.
Really, nigga?
And then she'll move on when it's all said and done, and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too.
Yeah, I will say, across the board, black
Yay!
She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has. Throw that hoe out with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the fuck over. Get a whole new group of women, and then fix the community that way.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Period.
He's making something. He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
All right. So I played this video because and we need to make it clear that this is a so-called leader of the Lapeef network. And the Lapeef network, even though Lapeef has his name on it, we know who's doing all the work behind the scenes, even though I know that Lapeef does, blah, blah, blah. But you heard Lord Dusty. That was a perfect name, Jenny, by the way. Jenny B in the house. Don Harden in the house. Flawless in the house. Maya LaShawn in the house. Yeah. The thing is this. Dusty behavior is still Dusty behavior. And what you heard was Dusty behavior. So there's no other way to sum it up. Now I'm thinking like after that, the whole situation where everybody was having a soap opera up in Yanni's room, it broke down to something that sounded a little bit like this, So hurry, step on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Hurry, step right up. See the sun show in town for only 50 cents. Was in the house. With that said, you would think they would have chilled out for a minute, let things lay for a little while. But you know what happened?
I understand the impulse, brothers. I do.
That's what happened. Their impulse, they can't, that's the thing that we always talk about. They cannot control their own impulses. So they started doing the same stuff all over again. But you know something? I'll show you what they was doing. Let's see, where are we at right now? Where are we at? Let's go here.
Two very boring minutes later.
All right. So anyway, hold on one second here. Yes, all right. Perfect timing. I'll be right back. You handle it, Gemini. I'll be back in a second.
I'm still trying to figure out this. I'm still trying to figure out this $1 million lifestyle where you spend all this money on jewelry, but you can't get season tickets to a game for a team that you supposedly love. Conscious mind and love. Welcome to the room. So these people on YouTube are always capping. They have these luxurious lifestyles and they still beg for super chats or cash apps or PayPals. And they have people subscribe to their Patreons and they get paid on there. And they're always telling everybody else how dusty and broke they are. But when you pull back the curtain, they're the ones that are dusty and broke. Make it make sense. So is this the Darrel but from
Yeah, this is Big D coming up. 1
Mm.
second.
So you see how the whole they scattered like roaches when the whole thing fell apart. When they got exposed on Yanni, they just start singing like birds.
It sure did.
But it was on its way to a downward spiral anyway, because they weren't again.
And Malcolm also said,
okay, here we go.
That if you were caught pretty much disrespecting your women in front of other racial groups, they would kill you for it. The Nation of Islam had a bunch of brothers that were down to do any freaking thing, bro. All right, so he made that clear, and the reason why he made that clear is because you don't see other racial groups bashing their own women to the level that you see in the black community. You see that all the time, and you criticize the black manosphere for it. They tell you, no, we have to do it this way because we have to hold women accountable. I'm like, you look at all these other spaces, they do a great job of holding their women accountable, but you will never see them going out and publicly bashing their women, especially doing that in favor of a white girl like Pearl. So it was an absolute embarrassment, because what that only does is shows us that we are weak. This is the problem. When black men are seen destroying their own women, right, the other groups are going to see you as weak, and therefore that's just what it is. So a lot of these guys in the black manosphere, they've been here for a very long time, pumping those people's heads filled with hate. A lot of these young men. So now they can't envision anything else between a man, or even a proper interaction between a man and a woman without the man yelling, screaming, and then cursing at her, calling her a whole bitch, this, that. You know, it's crazy. And that's the level of dysfunction we've gotten to online. So we look at targets like the Lapeef Network. We look at targets like Anton Daniels. We look at targets like Angry Man. They either have to change their rhetoric or they need to go. Shout out to you for the super chat, because we have to keep the pressure on the neck. If we're going to come together on this, we can't be seen bashing on women like that. You can hold them accountable without having...
Shout out to Conscious Mind Love in the house.
Because at the end of the...
Shout out to Siobhan in the house.
Married man. You was having sex with JR while JR was a married man. So let's stop playing these fucking games, all right? And on top of that, while he was cheating on his wife with Courtney, he was trying to talk to Lucky too. While I was talking to Lucky, and I have proof because Lucky was sending me the fucking receipts.
Boom. So this part, I didn't notice, but this is true. This part is true. He and Lucky had a relationship, and it turns out that JR was also trying to, slide in them DMs and shoot his shot.
Hang on up. Mute that for a second. The thing is this. The problem is this. This is supposed to be somebody who's trying to teach women leadership. This whole network. And it just shows you how poorly run their system is. And they're still doing the same thing. Tell me where they made one change at all. No, they probably made maybe one change, but it's not noticeable. They made no noticeable change in their network. They're still throwing the same crap and same mess.
Right? They called CPS and said that Darrel tried to kill his daughter, and I had my daughter in a fucking box.
Okay, so this is where I had criticism for Darrel. Darrel, you're not going to escape this either, all right? Why did you still continue to deal with a woman like Lucky that put your kids in danger?
Leia's in the house. Siobhan's in the house. Jenny is in the house. Conscious Mind Love in the house. Gemini's in the house. Let's keep it going.
I don't give a fuck. I would take your kids away from you by filing false child protective services claims. That is, first of all, Lucky, that's fucked up. And we called her out when she did it. But Darrel, you should have seen this as a wake-up call, my dude. So I hope you're no longer following her around. I hope you're no longer dealing with this woman, because listen, bro, that was just wild what she did. And she did come up here and verify that. They did call CPS on this man's child. which is crazy because Lucky, you go on Lapeef, and I don't know what your politics is, but like the fact that you did this and these niggas not even holding you accountable for that, that's wild. That's really freaking wild and kind of dirty, bro. To be honest.
Sorry, I tried to delete my daughter.
Okay.
Right now, Lonnie, I can go in here and get her mom and my daughter right now, and her mom will tell you this happened. CPS and FBI came to my house. I had never sent anybody to no female house. So TJ is getting on here trying to say, well, Darrel disrespected these people. No, Darrel defended his black daughter because I'm a single father. Her mother is schizophrenic. So when all this was happening, right, her mother was in a schizophrenic hospital. TJ making live, some Darrel going live all day, not taking care of his kid in a box. This is all facts.
We're covering this and we're going over it because we couldn't believe it, right? So we didn't get the receipts on Pearl reaching out to Darrel, but we did get the receipts on Darrel and what he had to say regarding the text message with JR. So the fact that we got this context right now, we're gonna go ahead and bring that up. All right, let me say. Steffi Tam, shout out to you for the $2 Canadian. He says Darrel is in the chat. Get him on stream. What's up, Darrel? Let's get it.
Okay, so we're gonna
and let's talk.
We're gonna get to the
about
receipts.
This. And you know what? One thing I find interesting.
We're gonna get to the receipts right now.
All right, here we go. So he got.
All right, everybody. Just so like to welcome you to the show. And if you have any questions, please feel free to chat. Put them in the chat in the house. JP Nobody, one of the smartest men in the world. Also in the house, Siobhan is in the house. Jenny is in the house. So basically, the reason why we're going over this is because I'm getting a little bit confused on why even people go to Lapeef. Why are you, for anybody who's a Lapeef fan, feel free to type it in the chat why you go there, because they don't seem to be talking much about anything, which I will be showing later on in this live. Everything they seem to do is just talk about women, and then they turn around and say, well, you know, the community. But apparently, it's like the community is they're only really focused on blaming the community on the women. So then you turn around and it looks like the second coming of Dallas or some other, you know, love and hip hop type of sideshow, you know, and that's kind of weird. That's kind of dumb, you know, to the point where I got to do one thing.
So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make it right. Let the side.
All right, sideshow. Let the sideshow begin. Hurry. Gemini, I think you should have kept me muted, but step right on in. Thank you, everybody. Applause is appreciated. Thank you. So anyway, I mean, let's check out these receipts and see what's going on here.
He got part of the screenshots right here. All right, so these might be a little out of order. This might not be, but you can see this is Lucky and this is JR, and this is what the kind of part of their correspondence, right? So he's like, public figure, can't control it. I anticipate it will only get worse. People saying all types of stuff about me. Exactly. You flirting, etc. while saying you're wanting to pursue me is going to make it worse. Entertaining is cool, but flirting might not be my thing. And he heart that. So let's go to the next one here. No, that's it. We got these are gonna be a bit out of order. But we gotta find this because when they got to me, let's see. Gerard approve of mine. I had to go back to the other one. All right, here we go. He's like, nope. He's like, okay. He's like, where's Courtney? Courtney Michelle, that's the name. She said she was sick. Look at that. You know, he's over here hearting her stories, bruh. My boy sending googly eyes, and she like, thank you, daddy. Right? He's like, no doubt, babe.
Oh, I didn't see this part. I mean, they might be just joking and everything. You know, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why not? You know, just, I mean, they already look bad on their own. Why should I add something to the stack? In the house, Sutton Bell. In the house, Gulf Clan Cartel. Gulf Clan Cartel says, DJ Torch Network, you ain't gonna do a breakdown and saying Santa and Priscilla. Oh, you better. It was a doozy. Oh, you best believe we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. You know, no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say something about that live that's we're gonna have going down, but I don't want to. I don't want to ruin the story. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it yet. I don't want to ruin it. In the house, Camo is in the house. Siobhan's in the house. Don's in the house. You know something? I sound so good that maybe I should just sing solo for the rest of the live. If you think that's a good idea.
Nobody move. If we don't move, he won't sing.
Hit a 1 in the chat if you want me to sing and a 0 in the chat if you don't. I think there's Sutton Bell says, yes, I should. Sutton Bell says,
Southern
yes,
Belle
I should.
always wants you to sing. Southern Belle and Don. They always want you to sing.
Okay, so, oh man, okay. Looks like everybody wants me to sing. Looks like everybody wants me to sing. No, I can't do that to you. That's risk for Jenny, respectfully. Okay, so basically, I just need to. I'm here for clarification tonight, and so this is definitely the right here. That's Lapeef. Throwing a lovey-dovey thingy here, but you know, friends, you know, how many people have them, right? They're just being friends, right? Well, let's keep it going. Let's see what happens. Let's keep it going.
No doubt, Bay. Now, does this mean that they were dating or concrete proof that they were dating? No.
No.
But what this proves is there was definitely some flirtatious vibe between JR and Lucky.
Or at this point, unlucky. So, you know, I'm here all night.
That's what this means. Yo, Anton. What we gonna do about this mess, huh? Hold up, let me see. Oh, there's Anton right here. Hold up. He's booking vacation. Okay, so some more back end stuff over here. I don't know, guys. Anton might take this down because we shared some back end screenshots right now. But so he got called out in this screenshot for basically gossiping because that's what Anton does. Buddy went on Six the Guy to show, and Six exposed them. Darrel also made that connection too as well, right? So let me look through this. It says, considering JR unfollowed only me speaks a lot. I never really cared about this YouTube world until you introduced me at the point. I'm cool. At this point, I'm cool on everybody because I'm being singled out and brought up in the conversation by nigga across the country I never met, but keep gossiping. I really looked up to you, Anton, and I wish you and Rita the best. So this is from Lucky. This is from Lucky to Anton, right? She's talking about, I'm looking to buy a vacation rental. He says, I like the units inside pounds because of the travelers. So y'all know that Anton got that real estate joint going on with his what do you call it? With his business, right? But so this text basically tells me what I inferred from it is y'all when Lucky came out with that stream, pretty much exposing the Lapeef network, right, and how the little tactics. I think this was the text message that made her feel some type of way, right? When JR unfollowed her and she felt like the whole
So basically they falling apart.
So wait a minute, did Lucky take the black man out the house?
Yeah. I wonder. That's a good point. That is a good point. I mean, remember, these are the people. This is the network that was telling everybody that the woman kicked everybody out of the house. In the house, Maya Lashan, in the house, you can't get laid. In the house, Camo, in the house, Sutton Bell, in the house, Siobhan. Let's keep it going.
squad was going against her. She sent this message to Anton to figure out what's going on. And Anton, being Anton, say, what? I never gossiped about you. I never talked about you to JR. Call me in the morning. All right, that's Anton. You got to get the phone calls in. So that's what I'm saying. What's his name?
In the house, Hopeful EC and JP.
Kimo says, where Rita at? That's what I'm trying to find out. Hey, Rita seeing this shit, bro. These are ground for divorces. And then this is a conversation between somebody named Tawana and Lucky. So she said, listen, my sister is a married man. She knows for 2 months. She's in love. Of course, there's a challenge, but as long as you all communicate it well, it could be good. That was hopeful. This is Lucky. I've been getting to know him since October. I just separate you two, Darrel. You two, Darrel, be oversharing. So this is her basically confirming her and Darrel had a relationship.
Okay, so that's pretty much what we know right now. I mean, what we know for sure. That's for sure. Everybody agrees with that part. What I strongly disagreed with, actually, it's not really a disagreement, but Yanni rightfully had Anton's wife on the image for that video that she wonderfully released. And it was actually perfect left as is. And the reason why is because his wife is in the mix just too. It's not like she's at home just cooking and cleaning. She's in the mix too. There's enough information to know that just because she's not on, maybe not physically on or on the panel, she is part of this buffoonery. She is part of this mess. She is part of this trash. It is trashy right now. It's trashy up in here. Or I should say up over there.
And whoever this woman is, she's trying to get him to stay with Darrel, get her to stay with Darrel. She said that is part of him. So as long as you know he has all sides, but he'll protect your ass at all costs. Oh, Darrel, that's a great thing, she says. And she says, that's true. He said, I don't count time until you meet the person. LOL. My sister was talking to her husband for a long time, but she met him and married him 2 months later. Let's see if we can go to the next one here.
Okay, so is this Lucky confused on who to be with? Is that what's going on here?
I think she's trying to determine Darrel's real personality. I have no idea. This is kind of confusing for me.
Let's see if they straighten it out real quick.
It bounces around. Hang on, guys. It bounces around. Okay, this is the first part to that stream, but it's really nothing they talked about there. But let me go back to that one chick real quick. Hold up. Here we go. So she goes on. She's like, you guys have planned it now, thought about most things. The only thing to do now is meet. So she hasn't met Darrel yet up until this point, right? And he says, nothing wrong with making it official now, though, because you see how creepy men try to come at you when they don't know. At least you are all clear. Just moved in with my husband. I had the entire house, and he was like, I'll find a tenant for you. Men know what they want. Marry your boo thing, girl. And she's like, I needed this advice. So this is about Darrel, but who's the other guy? Right? You got to ask yourself, who is the other guy? And I think the other guy she was talking about that was trying to get himself involved in the mix was JR. Right? JR.
You can make that assertion, especially with the information that was the love letters. Let's not call it love text that he was throwing down. I mean, don't get me wrong. People use heart emojis for many things.
Wait, come on, DJ. She's saying marry your boo thing. Like, I'm confused. Did she get proposed to? Like, it's how can you marry somebody who hasn't proposed to you? So she said you guys have planned it out. So they made a plan, thought about most things. The only thing to do now is meet. So they had met in person. It sounds like Darrel, though. It sounds like she's talking about Darrel, right?
I believe so. Rika Rewrite Gaming is saying, I strongly disagree with what Lucky did to Darrel with that CPS call. That was messed up. I believe, yeah. I mean, we don't know enough deep to know who threw the first rock, but that was messed up. The only problem, I actually mentioned this to Darrel before, was that you're not helping things when you're online in full view smoking weed. Young man, I'm just trying to help you out with this one. That it doesn't look good. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not saying it's a crime, but to be emotional like you are, and the CPS has you're on their radar. See, the problem with a lot of young men, not just you, this is actually, believe it or not, Lucky and Darrel are just prototypes of what happens a lot.
They're the personification of what happens a lot. It's just being played out in real time in front of everybody's eyes, as opposed to it being a television show. It's actual reality and not scripted reality at that, especially since they're doing these scenes behind one another's back. But like Hopeful EC was saying, so so let me see. What'd she say? So are these like online relationships, or these people meet in real life? So it sounds like some of them were meeting in real life, right?
That's not completely clear to me. I never could really get a clear thing, but I'll tell you one thing.
So let the side show begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in.
And then she said, and these are the people blacks should be taking dating advice. Dating and life advice from.
Exactly that. I mean, man, it's a sideshow. It's the saddest show on earth. Let's keep it going.
While Lucky and Darrel had a thing going on, he was trying to slide into them DMs because she was in the Lapeef network. I already dropped the link, buddy. Hold up, let me drop it again. Let me drop it again. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. First link drop. Hit it.
All right. Henry Mars says, how old was Lucky at the time? I could be wrong, but she appears like a very young person in her early 20s. That seems to be the vibe. I mean, I ain't gonna like assume, but it gives me the vibe. She could clearly pass for a woman in her 20s if she's not. But she's definitely younger than Courtney. That's for sure. let's keep this going.
So the other guy that was trying to mosey on in had to be JR. And Lucky at this point, Lucky was feeling confused. Because she had.
I wonder if they both knew. I wonder if JR knew that Lucky was, let's call it at least virtually with Darrel. Or because if that's okay, see, this is where I think what a lot of people missed. If JR knew Lucky was virtually with Darrel, right? And he's got already, I believe, from what I heard, he's married. That's super duper messy. Now, that's not the problem because let the sideshow begin. That's okay. Where it gets really weird is when they get on their moral high horse about how individuals, mostly women, live out their life. And in the background, they live in this super messy life. They're doing all this messy crap. They aren't being respectable. If he was a respectable guy, he knew, JR, he knew, well, number one, he's married, but even still, JR knew, I think he knew they were vibing. I think they knew that Darrel and Lucky were vibing. So that's just irresponsible management and ownership of a channel right there for you. That is making a sideshow on top of a sideshow. I need to repeat that. It's like making a sideshow on top of a sideshow. But then you put Courtney on the mix, and guess what? It's like putting a sideshow on top of a sideshow, on top of a sideshow. Yet they want to tell you how to live. They want to tell you how to live. That's just, let the sideshow begin. Oh man, I hit that note. I know I hit that note. Whew. Let me take a breath for a minute. Okay, so you got a triple sideshow going on already, just with these three individuals. Who knows what else buffoonery was going on? The thing is this, it's not our business. Believe it or not, if this was not on YouTube and these people weren't being judgmental towards other people about their lifestyle, who would care? It's your business. It really, but when you start to be judgmental and then you want to be messy on top of it, then it's everybody's business. It's everybody's business. Thank you. Thank you, Healthy Black Pill. Yeah, so Lucky is 32. That's up there. For, to be going through stuff like this. So you got to understand. The individuals really, myself, I'm not concerned with. What I'm concerned with is these are supposed to be the people that are teaching you how to be a pillar of the community. That is a lesson that needs to be reinforced tonight. It's the exact same thing. Do as I say, not as I do.
Don Harden said that Junior is not married. He came on Yanni's show to say that was not true, and it was later proven.
Excellent.
So now he was just trying to get with both Lucky and Courtney. or he was getting with both of them. I don't know.
So if you, okay, I know this is a long shot, but if you had to guess what was going on in Lucky's mind at the time that this was going on, and do you think she was truly confused, or do you think she had her mind made up? What do you think?
I can't tell you, judging from what I've seen. I really can. I can't even guess at what's really going on because it's a lot of confusion between the he say, she say stuff.
Got it. So to confirm that, apparently JR is not married, at least presently. Now, I don't know. I mean, this has been going on. I mean, this has been going on for a while. So who knows when this all really broke down or got down to the got down. But we got to look into it because this will look a little bit murky for Darrel, just because Darrel made it clear on Yanni's live that he was married. And to me, I have
wait. Darrel made clear who was married.
JR.
Oh, okay.
That's what makes it weird to me, because then that kind of discredits some. You have to give discreditation points, because he had been around JR long enough to know if he was married or not. So maybe he had who knows? Okay. Yeah, so Don Harden, James, he came to the Yanni show to say, okay. Was Don Harden, was that the show, the initial Yanni show, or did he come on a subsequent Yanni show and say that? I think he came on that show, but I wasn't really listening when he was talking. But basically this is crazy. Let's keep it going and see what else is going down here.
Feelings for Darrel. Darrel was putting that thing on her. Right? She was like, oh, Darrel. Here comes JR.
It really makes no difference, but I wonder if it's a physical thing or a virtual thing. That's what I want to know.
Well, according to the text between her and whoever that was, they hadn't met yet. Because she said all that's left to do is meet in person. Isn't that what she said?
Oh, so no. So basically, it's an internet thing. And hey, fine, because emotions are important. Emotions are important. So if they're emotionally connected, to me, that's just as important, or even more important than the physical part. So I'm there. I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. In fact, believe it or not, I think people should do it more often. It sounds weird, but yeah, maybe not, over the internet, but people should take the physical aspect out, believe it or not, and just focusing on emotions and whether you're a good fit first. Unlike what Melanie King was saying about the 90-day rule. The 90-day rule. I mean, to me, it's like this. Really, quite honestly, maybe it's funny to hear from, and I hate to sidebar off on the Melanie King, but it's funny to hear another hypocrite first call women 304s over and over again, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then tell women to not let men have to wait. Melanie, that was complete buffoonery, idiotic, hypocritic, hypnotic stupidity. Get your lies together, ma'am. Please make sure they're accurate. If you're going to lie, take notes. In the house, Sexy Red TV. In the house, Henry Mars. In the house, Bridget. In the house, Hopeful EC. In the house, Happy Life. Happy Wife. In the house, Siobhan. Okay, Don Harden's breaking it down for me right here. Let's check this out. I'm sorry, Gemini, my bad. I got my bad glasses on. If you could read this for me, I appreciate it.
But Darrell later said on a stream and said, so what if he's not married? Yes, I think it was on Yanni's first show. And no, they never met.
Wow. Okay. You can still have a broken heart. I mean, I think it would have been just think about if they did get physical, how messy. And I don't mean the soccer player. This could have been. Man, I mean, you see what's going on in the streets. You see what's going on up in them streets. Another sidebar. I'm sorry to go off my sidebar, but don't you find it weird that it is a male 304 that calls women out for being in the streets? He himself with 8 or 9 kids. This is a rapper I'm not going to name, but you know him. Well, actually, there's probably a lot of rappers like that. But anyway, she's for the streets. The funny thing is that actually he was for the streets. He was for the streets. That's how every time I get these hypocritical thoughts in my mind, I just got to let them out. Future is up there with the rest of everybody. Said his name. Shit. Anyway, Future is up there with everybody else when it comes to hypocrisy. Streets for the streets. Where's my next hoe at? That's basically what he's doing. That's basically what he's doing. Let's dive back into this. But right now, I'd like to kick out a shout out to Madison Goldman and the Bro Speak podcast.
Right here. All right. What you need is a strong man with a strong beard. All right. You see how I laugh at this shit, right? That's JR shit right there. Cause JR, that's his game. Nigga got that beard and the chicks be like, oh, nigga, look at that shit.
I will say he's got a clean beard. That
does not make you fall in love. Sorry.
I know that part, but I got to give credit where credit to do. His beard is on point.
That nigga look like he. Let me stop. Let me stop. Right? That nigga got that beard, bro. It's the beard oil. You gotta lather that shit up. You're like, come here, feel this shit, baby. All right. That nigga Darrel ain't got a beard like this. Come on now. You gotta feel that. All right. So Lucky over here, she's getting a little flustered. She gotta go ask for advice from her girl. She asked it for advice from her girl. Hey, Stephanie, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. I read it. The link is right there. Hold up. Let me get the
wait
link.
a minute.
I got my.
So I'm there's a comment. Wait. Hopeful EC says wait. I thought these people didn't date single mothers.
There we go again. More hypocrisy.
Both of them are single mothers, aren't they? Courtney and Lucky?
Yep. They sure are. Single mothers dissing other single mothers.
And Siobhan says all of these women are post-wall, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly. Southern Bell says, JR kind of fine on YouTube screen. He may be zesty looking in person. That might be true. Yeah, Sexy Red TV, they are going at each other. I mean, Sexy Red TV, we got to take our notes because I think it's not done yet. That is my prediction. This is not done yet. We're just getting started. Not as them. They're just getting started. They are just getting started. The hypocrisy is stacking up big in the house. Drummond and Richardson, Sexy Red TV, Bridget Mouton, Jenny B, Hopeful EC. Camo. Let's keep it going.
Mojo going right now, people. Right? So she's trying to get advice right now. And she got it from this Tawana woman. Right? Darrel, I'm gonna drop the link again, bro. I'm gonna drop the link. Oh, here you are. Here you are. All right, come through. Come through. All right, let's go through this shit together. All right, she says, I'm totally trying to convince him about me needing my own space still, LOL. Who is she talking about?
Who's talking about the other guy?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
who's the other guy?
Like I told you, bro. The only other person I know that tried to talk to her.
Oh, no, not the 80s reverb.
That's
Yeah,
that empty
echo?
room.
That's not me.
Yeah, hold on. Let
Not
me
me.
get this muted. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go. He cleaned it
There
up.
we go. That's better. Like I said before, bro, the whole thing when I first met her, that nigga JR was shooting his shot. You feel me? And the only reason I'm talking about it now is because them niggas did a massive strike. They sent me like 15 community strikes, deleted my channels, all of that stuff. Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep going on Rumble and Twitch or whatever. But the thing is this, bro. I was never lying about them. You feel me? Like when you was asking for this receipts and stuff, I had to go back through my iPad and download stuff or whatever. But I wasn't lying about none of that, bro.
I was skeptical, right? I
You
was
had the
very
right to be skeptical
because we were pressing you for the receipts on that stream and you didn't.
And I didn't
you
have
didn't
them,
bring
bro.
them
You
up.
had a right to be skeptical. Real talk. You feel me? But the woman and the woman, because you was asking who was this woman, that was Tawana from Lapeef back in the day when Anton went off on her husband or whatever. That was Tawana G. So what happened was we did a show with my man's King Hormiku back in the day when we was going at Anton and them. And we already had Lucky, who was still, on a good with Anton through Courtney. And Tawana had a lot of other information too that we weaponized at the time. You know what I'm saying? So Lucky, as you can see in Tawana, they had conversations and all too. The thing that disappointed me is they running around, right, mad at this Pearl situation. We had a chance to go at Anton and expose him for the motherfucker he was 2 years ago. He had a mirror exiled up there. He was yelling at Tawana in the video. You can go to it right now. She was pregnant.
You brought up a good point. But it's the same point I've been bringing up about the manosphere. It's like, really, quite honestly, they are just as bad as Pearly. The only difference is that they try to exclude men from their bigotry.
And you know what's funny about this entire situation, besides the women, they're of course are going to blame it on the women. But
Right.
if the men that are involved were raised by single mothers, guess who's going to be blamed about that too, about their behavior?
Exactly.
So they're absolved of their behavior as long as it could be scapegoated onto a black woman, especially a single baby mama.
True. That's their go-to play for their own weaknesses and imperfections. That's their go-to play.
Because remember, we learned yesterday that they were actually reincarnated. They were the women of the 1920s, but they're the men of the 2020s. And so the women of the 2020s now need to pay for what they did as men back in the 1920s.
Exactly that. In the house, Big J. In the house, JP, nobody. In the house, Happy Life, Chevon, Sexy Red. Let's keep it going.
Right? When she was getting married, and it's certain stuff, real talk, dude.
Good, Anton.
It's certain stuff, bro, I couldn't even talk about online because it's dark, bro. You feel me? I couldn't talk about how she was getting threats at her wedding, right? Under her messages and people saying, oh, you was fucking Anton. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yo! Boy, talking about. Time the fuck out.
And she never was.
Say that. Say
and
what
she
you
never
just
was.
said again.
It was people under her comments talking about oh, you fucking Anton. They was making fun of her while she was pregnant, bro. They was dragging her.
That's pretty messy, if you ask me twice. This is about as messy as you can get anywhere. And yet they're judging you. We need to come back, get off the gossip train for a second and just get into the lesson train. These people are telling you what to do. And this is about as bad as shit gets. This is the pot calling the kettle black twice a day.
No.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. Tawana G. And if y'all want to find, see, I'm so much of a real nigga. If you want to find Tawana G right now, E Black TV Live, she probably in his chat right now. She probably in his chat right now. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. You feel me?
Okay, so because here's the thing, I've always had a sneak.
So Darrel just seemed like somebody subpoenaed him, and he was going to prison if he didn't just tell everything.
Right. Which is, something. It's interesting you brought that up. Very interesting, if you get my drift. Anyway, it gets weird. Let's put it that way. In the house, Claudette Jonay. In the house, Monica M. In the house, JP. Nobody. In the house, Ellen.
Get suspicion that Anton's sleeping around, and he might be. There's no proof.
He didn't sleep with Tawana.
But like, I highly, because listen, if every one of these niggas on Lapeef are all fucking each other behind the scenes, these panelists over here, right? I won't be surprised if Anton is doing it. We literally saw him sip over Six the Goddess, bro.
But Tawana
was crying over Six while his wife was sitting right next to him. It was just like, yo, hey, Anton, bro, listen, you're supposed to come out here and talk about, relationships and traditionalism and whatever it is, right? And here you are trying to live your life like these 304s out here.
That's the thing that gets me. And you know what's funny and why I'm doing this once again is they're still preaching the same crap. After getting got for being messy and, visiting the 304 store. I'm telling you.
They're not the 304 store.
The 304 store. They're still at it. They're still going at it. I can't believe, I honestly can't believe it. You think that, okay, let's chill out for a minute. Let's kind of like lay low. See, they needed to teach that lesson, to lay low. We got a little heat on us. We got some skeletons going on. We got some little bit of dust over here. We got some smoke over here. We might want to just chill out and, just let it lay for a minute. No. They get high and mighty once again.
So DJ, tell me this. Okay, so if the black woman is responsible, wait, what did he say? She's the worst thing. She's the worst. She's worse than white supremacy could ever have been, right? That's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these men trying to sleep with the same women is the women's fault, right? That it has to be the women's fault that these men can't control themselves enough, because it's up to the woman to make them control themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, you think they would just like you. The thing is this is the epitome of our problem in the black community. There are times to chill out. And if you get caught, you got to, aren't they the accountability people? Aren't they the accountability?
They're supposed to be. That's that's what their claim to fame is. I mean, they're supposed to be able to tell people how to live their lives, even though we see now that every one of their lives is in shambles, including Anton.
Yeah. It seems like the accounting has nothing to do with them. They need more accountability than anybody. You know? I don't get it. And the thing is this, it's different if they might have been able to really, no, it would have been boring and they wouldn't have had any, the followers would have left probably because, they're here for the meat. But
Right.
I mean, the thing is that they say they're taking accountability for it when really they're not. Or if they are taking accountability for it, they're not responding. They're not changing their actions for it. So they're saying, "Hey, I did it," and then they're going back to being judgmental.
Right. So let's read some of the comments because maybe we can get a clue from the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Kitten says, or Kimmo says, literally the most cowardice men on the planet.
Makes sense.
Siobhan said they're full of hypocrisy on all levels. Who is saving messages if motive wasn't already involved? Those women were raised in horrible environments as well. Why is the single mother the scapegoat? And Claudette Johnny says, aren't these people supposed to be grown A men and women on these platforms telling on each other, degrading each other? I mean, what the F is going on, man? Shaking my head. Sexy Red said, honestly, I don't know what be going on with Lapeef. Seems like it would have been a great opportunity if they would have remained professional.
Well said.
You just like Myron. You trying to use Lapeef to bang these women. You and JR. And I don't know on Anton's part, but JR, we proven right now.
He's put up Myron because Myron over there at Fresh and Fit, they basically are unprofessional as well. They do the same shit. Same shit show over there. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. Fellas, I know you might like the red pill meat, but you have to understand, these men are not here to teach you anything. They're not going to teach you discipline because they have none themselves. They have none. They're just a show. Now, if you look at it like it's just a show, like, Love and Hip Hop or whatever, then fine. But don't be preaching this stuff, grabbing your 3-page pamphlet and going
it's
out
2
there.
pages. No, it's 2 pages.
My bad. It's only 2 pages. Damn. Yeah. And repeating what these other people are saying. Watch the show. It's okay. Enjoy yourself. Fine. It's just as messy as Love and Hip Hop. But then you got to bring it back. You got to use your common sense or what little bit you think you have and understand that these people are not here to help you. The people that want to help you or have the right words, you've probably dissed them in one way or the other because they weren't hip or they weren't cool or they weren't showing off all their jewelry and shit. I need to circle back on Anton. And I can say this because I can. I grew up around rich people, filthy rich people, the kind that live in a hill, those neighborhoods that they would look at you funny if you came through. They looked at me funny when I came through. I grew up in that neighborhood from the age of 2 to the age of 17. And I can tell you this, out of, let's say, their shortcomings, the one thing they never did would brag about their money. And they had money. They had money. If I told you where it was, I can guarantee you not. Each of those houses, you'd see the houses on the flat part of the city would be $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million for the big one, $7 million. Somebody's I know probably built a $15 million one house. It was that kind of freaking city.
Now,
let me make it clear. I don't never want to go back there. I do not want to go back there.
Old money moves in silence.
Yeah. But that's what you should already know this, though. I mean, I understand, I think what it is, maybe it's that hip hop vibe because it seems like bragging about money seems to be something that happens, mostly with that hip hop vibe. I'm just going to throw that out there for a minute because that was the one thing when I was growing up I found was weird. It's like, why these guys? And the funny thing is this: you see all these dudes flashing their money, right? Flashing their money, just like Anton flashes his money. And you see what happens, and they end up in jail or they're dead, or deleted, I should say. So that's my point. I don't see, George Lucas, who could walk into any studio in Hollywood and get $1 billion deal, okay? Walking around saying, "Oh, look at my money. Look at my money. Look at this. Look at this. I spend this every week. See this receipt? I spend it every week." When have you ever heard a genuinely rich person go, "I spend it every week. I spend this every week"? I mean, folks, rich people don't move like that. They don't. He might be hood rich, if you want to call it that. I mean, he might have more money than you, maybe more money than me. Who knows?
He's 100 air.
All right. In the house, Rico is in the house. Welcome, Rico. Siobhan is in the house.
Hey, how you doing, DJ and Gemini?
Doing good.
Hey, Uncle Rico.
Hey.
What is good tonight?
No, I just wanted to come up for a couple of minutes, and I don't have much time. Mama's back home, so Uncle Rico on punishment. Will be when Mrs. Rico come home. But no, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory because I see up on the screen is the gentleman on the right. I do know personally. I've met him in person, but I've had a lot of interactions with him. His name is Darrel Long. And he has a reputation in these spaces of being somewhat combative, messy is the words that would be used, a lot of things like that. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory to sort of help explain. I guess I remember he came up on a stream with Duke and Don, because Duke to Don is about exposing these manosphere grifters. There's also Mike TV. But I got introduced to the young man on the right, Darrel Long. He lives up in the Flint, Michigan area, not far from where Anton Daniels live in Detroit. So they're pretty much neighbors. And I got introduced to him through another podcast that was called Conversation with Kings. They came out of they didn't come out of Lapeef, but they were adversaries against the Lapeef channel. And they were doing some pretty good work at that time with battling against Anton, trying to expose them and trying to grow their channel. But Mr. Long ended up this shit is really crazy because this is like from like 2 years ago. There's a young lady named Lucky Marie, and him and her, they was having somewhat of a I guess an internet cyber relationship, not physical, but cyber, and feelings was caught. But basically, what really introduced me to Mr. Long was Anton Daniels. Everybody knew, if someone said in the chat about the situation with Tawana, and I've never really liked him from way back then, the way he would demean and degrade black women even then. Well, Mr. Long, he had some very questionable tactics, meaning like he would attack everybody in your family, no holds barred, this, that, and whatever. But he chose to go after Anton's wife because, and I, you know, in my mind, I was like, I kind of agree with it. How you constantly talking about everybody else's girlfriend and wife? And basically all the guy said was, your wife's not a looker either. And from that point, him having the courage to say what a lot of people was thinking, he ended up, you know, and he did it the way that, you know, niggas from the hood gonna do it. They're not gonna be nice. They're gonna be very nasty. They're gonna be, and he was really going after Anton at that time. And I was like, well, I wouldn't have went, you know, after his wife, but I ain't gonna say that you said nothing wrong, because not because, you know, you were wrong for saying it, but I'm not saying I don't. I and thousands of other people thought the same thing, because I used to be over there in the Lapeef Facebook group, and I was I was a Powerpuff Girl. Me, Kay, the white girl Kim, I was with the ladies over there, you know, popping my fingers and everything else, because I was fighting these guys
Rico,
against it.
Rico, I'm
Yes.
going to need you to never refer to
I
yourself
know.
again.
but seriously, it was in the Facebook group, the women that were standing up, that was fighting for black women, Chicago Rilla called them Powerpuff Girls, I think off the cartoon. And I was like, whatever, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all beat up on these sisters for no reason. So of course I
Wait
got
a minute. Let me back you up. Wait.
Mhm.
The same Chicago Rilla that was over here saying all these nice things, you're
Yes.
saying he was
Yes.
berating black women?
He wasn't really, no. I gotta be honest with you. He was never berating them. But Anton, and it was a whole bunch of other ones over, because
But
they
why
have
would he call them Powerpuff Girls?
because they stood up. He labeled them Powerpuff Girls. He'll
Okay,
tell
so
you
he
that.
at minimum he's a misogynist.
Yeah, he labeled them that. And he's like, oh, y'all the Powerpuff Girls. So I was like, you know, they standing up for themselves. So, you know, so Chicago to me, I can't say I've ever heard him specifically say things, but he's always defended the platform. And I'm like, you hear the misogyny and the shit they saying like I and everybody else do. You hear it too. So he will always defend them. But, you know, it is what it is. So the whole thing in a nutshell is, Mr. Long has, as everybody said, messy. He attacks in a way that I don't ever approve of. No one would ever approve of. My thing was this: I never minded his targets, because his targets ended up being the Anton Daniels, all the same people that we go after. He just goes after them in a way that I do not approve. I don't approve of it. But because, you know, in the midst of him going after them, he would include their wives and anybody else that's around them. I don't approve of that. But the people, yes, Chicago was on Lapeef for a good while. He was one of the main panelists. So Chicago really was, where have y'all been? He was one of the main panelists for like a year, every day, every Thursday night. It was
Rico.
JR, Anton.
Rico, I'm not in the streets like you are.
Rico. This time last year, the only thing I saw was some fly fishing videos on how to cast.
Because
that's
when
how I
I
got
first,
to YouTube in the first place.
With Lapeef, if everybody can, I'll tell anybody this. When I got introduced to them, it was Tawana, JR, Anton, and it was a gentleman called B. Nix and all of them were from Chicago. B. Nix is from Chicago, JR, except for Anton. Anton's the only one from Detroit. And literally, I ain't thinking about, okay, I'm not even going to dress big screaming ass Jay. Okay, he was the only one that wasn't from Chicago. And what literally, B. Nix at that point, that's when I knew Anton was was a bitch. Because B Nix, there's a clip where B Nix told Anton, "I'll beat your motherfucking ass." And when he did, you could see the fear in Anton. And that's when I knew he was a fraud. If anybody want to go back to the beat. That was before he kicked Tawana off. Go back to the B Nix video. B Nix went to school, I think, for psychology, and he worked for kids in the inner city and all of that. And B Nix told him, "I will beat your motherfucking ass." And at that point, Anton knew, I better not fuck with this nigga. And that's when you knew. I said, Anton is a fraud. So literally, and when B Nix sort of just left, because he was like, this was before all of them. It was the four of them. It was JR, Anton, B Nix, and Tawana. And then shortly thereafter, they replaced B Nix with Chicago Rilla. Chicago Rilla was on there for like a year. It was the four. It was always four people. They didn't have those 10 people panels. It was just the four of them. They didn't used to do this shit. And the conversations was better because it would be like, JR wouldn't say nothing. Anton was still being Anton, but he wasn't nearly as bad. And then every week he would have to go at Tawana and B Nix. But see, B Nix was a dude. And Anton would always try to come at B Nix like that. And B Nix also took the same positions we take. But B Nix was like, I'll come through the screen and fuck you up type dude. Anton wasn't doing what he was doing. He wasn't, because there was a man there that was checking his ass. When B Nix left, Tawana was unprotected at that point. So then she had to do, she was trying to do what her and B Nix did together, and she couldn't do it by herself. B Nix was like, let me go ahead and leave before I have to catch a case, because I'm going to fuck this nigga up. And you could just see all that. You could just see, go back to that. And that was when the last of it was legit. The dude named B Nix, early on, the letter B and Niks. And you see that string, you're going to see he wasn't playing. He would look at Anton and say, he about to fuck this nigga up. And Anton knew it, because as a man, you know that look. You know it's not to be played with. But ever since he left, it's just been all downhill since. It really was. So, and just to get back to it, Darrel had made it his point he was going to go after Anton. And because by then, Anton had all of this power, everybody was kissing his ass, and all it took was for Darrel to say anything about Anton's wife, and all of a sudden, all these niggas clutched their pearls. And I'm like, but Anton had just sat there and cussed Tawana out a couple of months ago to acting like he was fucking her, sat there and cussed her and her fiance out while she was pregnant, about to get married. Y'all ain't got nothing to say about that. But because he sat there and said, I don't think Anton's wife looks good, y'all clutching y'all pearls. So I was like, okay, he shouldn't have said it, but this nigga said worse shit. So that's how I ended up following them over to another podcast, and then him, this guy King, and a bunch of...
Wait, Rico. So he expected everybody to lie to him and tell him his wife was a 10?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because they were doing this shit. They was doing it. That literally, if you listen to the way they talk about her now. Oh, really, she's a good one. I don't know if she's a good woman or not. I don't think she's ugly. I just sat there and said, I do not think that woman is ugly. I just sat there and said, after seeing her, he don't need to be calling nobody else ugly, is all I'm saying. If she's beautiful to you, I'm happy for you, brother. But
wait.
That's all I'm saying. You can't be like, I don't think my wife's that beautiful to be calling nobody else ugly.
No. Wait, Rico. You said after seeing her.
I mean, I got eyes. And I don't think it has nothing to do with her complexion. Her complexion is the same complexion of my daughter's mother. And I slept with her and had a child with her and everything else. I love dark-skinned women, same as I love all women. But I'm just sitting there saying is, I don't marry or go after gorgeous women. I go after women that are beautiful to me. And as long as I know they're beautiful to me, I don't ever put in my head that I have the authority to think less of someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? To be dragging down other women, because I know what's beautiful to me is just beautiful to me, not everybody. Not everybody. So, but Anton, evidently, the way he talks like he has the most beautiful woman in the world. And I think that is what Darrel was trying to tell him. Was like, bruh, you got to stop acting like you got the most beautiful woman in the world. Because he literally, y'all act like he ain't been running around here dragging other people's significant other. If y'all ain't heard that shit, y'all ain't listening.
Oh, I heard that.
Literally every week. He called women bust downs, Build-A-Bears. The shit he talked about, Kay. He called you built like a bully. I stomped your titties out. I'm like, come on.
Wait, so Anton is speaking like this to women?
Yes. All the time. All the time. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all? He literally told Kay, I will stomp you in the titties. If I see a woman getting her ass beat, I'm not gonna help her. You built like a bully. All these bust downs, these build. I heard him say this shit every week.
And you know what? Uncle Rico, any woman that's married to a man and she can hear him say these things to another woman, she's not a good woman.
Oh, she's part of the shit. She's getting, and that's what I'm saying. So Darrel, and again, I do not condone his tactics. He got fed. To be honest with you, I just tell everybody he had the courage in the moment to say and do what I was thinking. So and you know what? And when he did it, myself and two other elders went to him and said, Darrel, stop. Take down pictures of his wife. We don't condone it. We spent all this time getting on this guy about his tactics, but we would not condemn him. But we told him, I said, look, I understand how you feel, but you can't do it that way. Yeah, Anton is just like Tommy. Thank you.
So
he is a fucking Tommy Sotomayor.
So in other words, Darrel has always been messy.
He's always been what?
Messy.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% since day one.
All right, let's kick in some shout outs real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, Pookie Miss Prime is in the house. Siobhan is in the house. Red Wine is in the house. Sutton Bell is in the house. May is in the house. Quita is in the house. Happy Life is in the house. A Lady is in the house. Rika Ree Gaming is in the house. Big J is in the house. Orlando's is in the house. We have Camo up in the house.
Yeah, he's always been that way. But I've never seen him go after a person that did nothing. Never. Everybody, he literally, you know how you sit there and you be like, well, that motherfucker's not innocent. And literally, when you look at all the people, when he's the type of person that if he's gonna go after you, Gemini, it's no bars. It's just like no holding back everything. So I'm like, Darrel, you can't go that far. But he will. But then when we look at it, well, Gemini, what did you? Oh, she did do something. So I'll be like, okay, we're gonna lock his ass up. All right, but now, Gemini, we need to talk to you about what you did. And Anton, that's what, it was crazy. After he went after Rita, shit, him and Anton are friends. Because Anton knows the shit he does. He knows it.
He's just keeping him close so that he can regulate how much he. Yeah.
And Darrel keeps a bunch of receipts. So if you call him, he's gonna record the phone call. You send him a text, he gonna save the text, all that shit. And then when the shit blow up, he gonna pull it up. So it's like, oh shit. Rico, what about them? I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll have it all saved. That's what he doing here with Duke. He's showing them everything. But he's not innocent at all. There's not a drop of innocence with him, but there's also not a drop of innocence with the people that he's getting into, because he's got into it with a whole bunch of people. But those people are not innocent.
May said he doesn't own his home. He doesn't own any property. He has one plot, blank land, $3,000 value. He has
You talking about
collections.
Anton? Anton is a credit millionaire.
He has collections and judgments on
Yeah.
cars and
And a
failed
failed business.
businesses
Yeah.
and debt.
Go to PBM. There's a brother called PBM. He pulled the UCC judgments, everything. As a matter of fact, I think he was sued by Ford Motor or something. Yeah, all this shit. Anton is a fraud. But because people like him and he's popular, so people just look past all this stuff. So again, that's why I said that's how I knew the back history. Chicago. I'm like, no, I said Chicago. You can't. I understand how everybody feels about Darrel, but then again, y'all want to address him, but ain't nobody going to address Anton. And I'm not talking about just what he did to Tawana. I watched him do that to a half a dozen of. He did it to B. Taylor. What do you think the whole Yanni stream was about? Was about him. Get the fuck out of here. Get your mother. I'm sick of these. Come on, guys. Y'all are purposely ignoring his behavior. He did it. Am I making that up, DJ?
Not one bit.
So that's what I'm sitting there saying is, if you can get mad at this guy for what he said, why people ain't ready to punch fucking Anton in the mouth? You know what we'll do? We'll jump on this guy. When we finish kicking him in his ass, we walk away like ain't nothing else happened. And I was just like, no. If I'm going to get on him,
it's because Anton is staying on code. See, they don't have a problem.
Staying on code with what?
Their problem is with exposure. These men don't care what you do as long as you don't expose the treachery.
Yes, exactly. And that's the one thing that Darrel is definitively about. Same with Duke and Don, and there's another guy, Mike TV. And I'm not telling nobody to go over there and get involved with him, but they're big on exposure. They're huge on exposure. They're huge on, and all of these guys. So they'll sit there and be like, oh, they in the docs. And I'm like, but they've all been docs. Darrel's been docs. Mike TV's been docs. Duke the Don's been docs. So if you're offended about doxing, why are you not offended about them being doxed as well? Because people have doxed all of them. All of them have been doxed. People went and got their personal information, put it up, everything. Oh, Darrel's got a criminal record. This Mr. Realist, Mike TV got, like, okay, so what? I personally, like, I don't care. Because I know we all have skeletons.
You know what you will discover?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these major content creators that are online all day long have criminal records.
Yes.
And some of them serious criminal records.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. But again, they get into this space. And again, like I said, I am not here to, I've only told Darrel, look, sir, stop talking about people's family members. When you go after them, I'm all for it. I'm here for that. Because you can drag Anton ass until the sun stops shining, and I will be applauding, standing up, because he deserves it. Just leave his wife and his kids out of it. That's it. But I don't think that they're innocent. I'll be honest with you, because what you said, Gemini, I believe to be true. Because I tell everybody, I said, there's no way in hell that woman lays down with him every night and know that. And she knows this mother. She's well aware of what his platform is and the way he talks. She's well aware. So if you hear your husband say the things that he said about Tawana, about Kay, about B. Taylor, what type of a wife are you? What type of a woman are you? Forget
Just
being
think
a wife.
about this. Because you know you have guys. How old is his daughter? Do you know?
Probably about 13, 14, something like that.
So you know you have boys that are that age watching this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so they're encouraging them to be disrespectful to women and girls, right? So what happens when some boy goes up to his daughter and smacks her in the mouth for talking greasy and says that he got it from her daddy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's like so my point is this: we speak a lot about the hypocrisies of the content creators. Guess what? Subscribers, y'all need to stop being so fucking hypocritical too. With your ears, your eyeballs, and your decisions. I literally get it. If we are going to be that way about these people, that's perfectly fine. I just don't understand how no one can sit there and If you don't know the history of the thing, so like you said, DJ, you heard how Anton treated B. Taylor, and she did not deserve. He did that to B. Taylor. He did that to Queen Sheba. He did that to, he did it to Tawana. He did it to Kayla. He did it to Kay. He done it to Courtney. Her ass went back, and he did it to her again. He threw Courtney under the bus on Six the Goddess. When he sat there and went to Six the Goddess, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Courtney. And I was talking about B. Taylor. He'll throw a woman under the bus in a fucking heartbeat. And yet, women are still supporting his bullshit. So I have to start looking at y'all side eyes like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Not you, Gemini, but just women in general. It's like, why would you want to be 100 feet around this fucking clown? Or any of the, because anybody, guess what? Just like, Anton's gone. Everything with that fucking channel is shit. All the people that they replaced, they're with the shit too.
That's not part of my assignment, my work assignments. I don't go in those.
But
my
I'm
work
just
assignments
saying,
don't take me over in those areas.
Right.
I have limited exposure to these people. This is crazy.
Look at all of them with a fucking side eye. Look at me with a side eye. I mean,
well,
look at
that
DJ with a
Powerpuff,
side eye.
after you make
Protect
that
yourself.
Powerpuff girl comment, yeah, Rico, I am side-eyeing you.
Okay. But you know what? You know what? They can try to, because literally, I took it as a badge of honor. Because I'm going to fight and protect. I fight to protect women and children all day and all night. You want to call me?
Just messing with you, right?
I know, but Big J. Uncle, you don't call yourself Powerpuff Girl? Yeah, I'm Uncle Powerpuff. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to change my name to that, Uncle Powerpuff. Because I'm proud of it. I'm secure in my fucking manhood, so I don't worry about that shit. But I'll tell you that, fuck around, find out. That's all you got to do. All the rest of it is irrelevant. I got a wife. I get pussy every night if I can fuck. But the reality is this: I'm not gonna sit in a space as a man with my mouth closed and watch guys beat and berate and dog out women and not say anything. Because those are the motherfuckers to me that's soft. Those are the ones to me that are soft. You sitting here letting these black women get dogged needlessly for no reason, and they're wrong, and say nothing.
Right. Pookimus Prime said, I have a feeling that Anton Daniels might want his daughter to be with a white boy. I wouldn't doubt it.
Maybe. But I didn't want to come up too long. I'll let y'all get back in your stream, but I just wanted to give, I guess, some additional information. Again, Mr. Long is no saint. He's not anybody to be caping for or anything. I'm just saying, I want you guys to understand, for everything that you hear and feel about him, an equal measure needs to go to all those other characters in the show. And that's how I got to know him. I didn't get to, I learned that, hey, look, you're broken because they're broken. You're fighting broken people. Y'all are all broken. So I said, let's work with this guy to try to get him to stop. And we made some progress. Not 100%. I'm not his daddy. But we made the progress we could. He fall back. He get better. He fall back. The rest of these motherfuckers, I don't see nobody over there talking to them. And I don't see them. Because see, Anton, if I send him an email, oh, fuck you, old man. I ain't going to listen to you at all. He listened. He'd do it for a week or two, then fall back. But he would listen. I can't get the rest of them to listen at all. Because you know why? They thought, I don't need to listen to you. I don't need to listen to you. I'm getting the bag because all of you guys that sit there and listen to them and hold them up is why they don't listen. That's why. So we're part of the problem. We're part of the problem as long as I'm not saying you because I don't support them, but still I'm in this mess. And as long as we in this mess listening to this shit, we part of the problem. Even if a little bit. But that's it. I just wanted to say that. You guys do your great work. Let me get off this phone before I end up punished.
Happy anniversary. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Let me get my little powder puff ass on somewhere. You guys have a great stream.
Okay. Thank you, Rico.
Yep.
In the house, Lita Carponi. In the house, Big J. In the house, Camo is in the house, kitten in the casket. Red Wine 65. Rika Re Gaming is in the house. You Can't Get Laid is in the house. Quita is in the house. Let's see. And Pookie Miss Prime is in the house. May is in the house. Henry Mars is in the house. Bridget's in the house. Let's keep this going. All right, Big J, what do you have on your mind?
I just came up here for Uncle. I didn't know I was doing something else when he told me he's a Powerpuff Girl. Never mind. I'm out.
Okay. Hey, Big J, you still there? Big J, if you can hear this, your mic might be a little clicky. It might just be, who knows? It might just be on here. But anyway, okay. So let's get back to the sideshow begins. Hurry, hurry. I got a little extra. Thank you for Quita. She brought me in some extra tea, and I got it boiling in the pot right now. So here we go.
JR, you a little that beard, bro. I'm telling you, dog. That's what does it. Hey, what do you say to Mitch Jean's questions right now? He says, how old are these messages? Shout out to you, Mike. Oh, not Mitch. Mike Jean. All right. Shout out to you for $2 super chat. What do you got to say? He says, how old are these messages? Can you provide some context?
So when I met Lucky, that had to be around maybe, it was definitely back in 2021. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is old. They acting brand new now, right? I said that when I first came. I never said JR was married now, right? And he about to get married to that girl, Kelly, but his original baby mama, the video that we play, I can pull it up now, Duke, if he really want to get busy. Wasn't Lucky on word.
I'm on E-Black TV show.
Oh, JR, it's apparently, so JR was with somebody or had a fiance. And he doesn't anymore. So that's what I understand is just, that's the one thing that's very important in this context. When somebody says, oh, I don't have a wife, or I'm not married, or something like that, they probably had a significant other, quite possibly at that time, that cross paths.
Right now, I'm trying to see if I can find Tawana. I don't know if I see Tawana, but somebody, let me see if I can reach out to E-Black. Oh, he got, why y'all all got subscriber only mode on? Now I got to subscribe to send a message. God damn. Every single one of y'all are now. Yo, chat, have you noticed that? All these YouTube
look, bro, Tawana G is in the chat right now. If you look in the chat right now, I got it on my phone right now, bro.
Is she in there?
Tawana G is in the chat right now.
Somebody let her know. I'm going to subscribe.
Gemini, can you read Claudette Joni's message? It's on point.
She said so sad, and then they'll say it's just entertainment, not looking that it's sending a very bad message to the world. But then they talking about rap music destroying the Black community. Shaking my head, same thing.
Yep, I agree.
But it said you got to wait 5 minutes.
When you go up, the last thing she said was Black man embraced him because he dogged us.
He's going in on Mike TV. That nigga. Hey, yo, he going in on Mike TV right now.
He trying. Look. Tawana G. Look, they talking about it right now. Red lipstick vibes.
Yep, I see it. I see it right now. Hey, red lipstick. Red lipstick.
They here.
Let her know. Let her know. Hold up. Is Mike TV a scammer or a grifter? I'm gonna say yes to that, bro. I got my reasons for that.
All right. Welcome to stage, Espro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Chilling. So what's on your mind?
Well, hey, I'm here for the tea. I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned the other night that, like, I used to watch a lot of this stuff. I actually just went on Fight Club for like the first time in a while last weekend. So to hear, like, it's just interesting because I used to watch it like I guess like as a fan. Yeah, like I always thought it was entertaining.
What did you find entertaining about it?
Different people talking about different stuff, obviously, like, sometimes it gets heated, people going back and forth, like that's just talking, so to hear that there's drama, behind the scenes, which I guess you would have with anything like this, is it's interesting.
What was Fight Club's major or primary subject, if they have one?
Like Fight Club or the Lapeef Network? 'Cause I think
Fight
they're two
Club and the
different things.
Lapeef
I
are the
know that
same.
people.
They're the same. They're just moving people around like musical chairs.
I say, yeah, I know that there's like crossover, whatever, especially like with Anton. But the Lapeef Network, I always thought like it's always like different shows. I mean, I feel like everyone, it started with Let's Talk. That's mainly what I watched. I wasn't really into. I think JR had a show, like King Talk or something like that. I watched a few of those, but I wasn't really too into that, to be honest.
Why not?
And then Fight Club, why not?
Yeah. What didn't you like about a show, or what did you find boring or not interesting about a show?
I guess it would have to be the topics. It would depend on like what topics they were talking about. That's probably why I never clicked on it or never like was really into it. Like I know they would talk about multiple things like most like panels do. But with the Lapeef one, usually like whatever's in the thumbnail was interesting, and I feel like you get more variety, especially like because like you got the ladies there as well. So like that brings in a different perspective. Back in the day, they used to have like call-ins. So yeah, just more variety, I would say, but it's probably mainly the topics. I just know that I
Okay, if you
never
had to rate the
the show.
Lapeef Network, and we can throw, let's make sure we throw in the Fight Club and including the Fight Club into a 1 to 10 scale, what would you rate it?
As far as YouTube entertainment?
As far as YouTube entertainment?
For me, I'd say a 7 and some change, an 8.
Okay. What would you rate the information for helping some young man to be a better person? What would you rate it?
Well, that's not all the information. I never looked at it as like a advice hub. Like I know cats talk about that, and I don't know what goes on in like the members only spaces or like Patreons, or if they do that. I know they talk about, wanting to see people do better and stuff like that. But I always looked at it like the different, whatever the scenario, or like sometimes it's news stories. Sometimes it'd be like a meme, something that people are talking about, a current event. And, you get everyone's perspective on that. That's what I liked from it. And that's what I took away from it. Now, sometimes
Everybody in the chat, go ahead and put your score from 1 to 10. 1 obviously being not so good, 10 being great. I'll wait.
But yeah, I never looked at it as a source of like advice. I feel like with anything, like if you're watching like any talk show, I guess, or anything, and you hear something, maybe a different perspective can get you to see something differently. But as far as like straight up, like, oh, live my life by this, no one should do that with anything. So if they're saying, I've never heard it said over there, like, hey, we are, the pantheon of gods with, vast information. And if you don't follow this, then, you're not on your square and you're
Okay, I
messing up.
have another question. What could somebody, why are they calling themselves role models or insinuating they are, or saying that they should be a king? Because you know how Anton has like a crown on his head on some of his videos and so on and so forth. What relevance does that have to do with some young man who's struggling? Does that help him at all?
Well, it's a lot of cats over there. So one could argue maybe it's a mixture of things. I would say most of it, like if I had to say, it's camp, man. It's YouTube, it's internet stuff. Some of it's branding. You want you want to look attractive, or to
It's
what
straight
attracts
trash.
people.
It's straight trash. If you're going to sit and berate women all day long, talk to women like they're less than or nothing and subservient, it's not even entertainment. You can't even.
Well, that's not all of it. I'm not saying, like, get this. If someone says something that you don't like about a specific thing, then like, yeah, like, and they are probably wrong. I'm not arguing like things people said being right or wrong. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I was asked about it on like, as far as like content and content creators. I mean, I know obviously there's like tea and drama backstage, which is also like what we're talking about. But I was asked about it as far as material. Now
You
I
were
always say
asking,
separate.
and I was asking. I gave my opinion, so I don't know why you're posing my opinion of it.
Oh, not
Okay.
necessarily.
I have another point. I have another thing. I mean, are these people role models or not?
Hell no.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if they ever claimed to be anyone's role
Why
model.
do they pose themselves as role models?
I never saw anyone as a role model.
All for the
Okay, but why do they pose themselves as a role model?
I never got that vibe that they were like, oh, I'm your role model. They seem like people that were making content, talking about stuff.
Okay, so you're not that familiar with them then.
Like I said, I don't know what goes on, like as far as like members only stuff. Like I'm sure some of it is maybe like if someone's an expert on something, I don't know what each of them does like in their private lives outside of like the space, which again, I'm the consumer.
So you've been on their show like one time and then that was it.
I've been on Fight Club multiple times. As far as like,
and you still don't know, you don't still don't get the vibe.
What vibe am I like? You talking about things that people are saying? Because I don't. Again, you don't have. Yeah, cool. People can say bad things or things that we don't like. But as a platform, I'm like, hey, it is what it is. And like, if you don't like it, like, yeah, don't watch it. If you think they're spreading bad information, you know, you're like right now, you're saying like, oh, I don't think people should watch it.
No, I'm just trying to get your thoughts on it. But you know, I thought, I mean, it sounds like you've been exposed to them long enough. I would hope that if somebody is exposed to something as much as you have been to something, that they picked up on whatever they're trying to do or whatever vibe or what kind of atmosphere they're in. I mean,
I could see them then okay, you worded that excellently. Thank you. So yeah, I could definitely see them saying that they are role models. I don't need, I mean, they make good content. So like, you know, advice in that space, you know, maybe I don't know what else they have, but like with certain things, again, it would depend on the point. If I hear someone on there give like a view on something and I'm like, nah, cause like I'm not gonna follow that advice. I'm not gonna ask them about things in that field. And for most people on YouTube, I don't think that that's what's going on. Now there are fanatics, and like if that's like, you know, then that's another thing. For those people, you know, then like, yeah, that's crazy. Cause like you shouldn't let anyone necessarily dictate, like they shouldn't be your example. You know, our people close to us, like our family, our neighbors, those should be, you know, the examples and not necessarily content creators on the internet. Cause there is some camp to it. Like there's some theatrics to a degree.
Okay. So what made you want to be on their show so much?
Fight Club or like Let's Talk. I haven't really. I like talking, like just like right now, same thing. I like different people, different conversations, talking. I fell in love with like just live streams and stuff like a few years ago, and that's what I dig, and I like different opinions.
Okay, do you believe that the Lapeef network is your favorite network or something else?
Like my favorite YouTube channel? No.
Mm-hmm.
Not by any means. I don't know. I don't even know what my favorite YouTube channel is, but it definitely wouldn't be them. I don't think they would even be in the top 5. I don't watch the Lapeef network anymore.
Okay, but and still up until last week,
I went on
the show last week, right?
Yeah, I went on Fight Club last week.
Okay, well, you're still watching it then, right?
I don't rewatch them. Anytime I've never sat down and like watched a Fight Club stream. I've only participated.
Okay, so I mean, don't you want to see how good you look?
Well, no, it's not. For me, it's not about that. Like I already know what I said. I'm not going to go back and watch a show that I was on.
Okay.
And their streams are like 10 hours. So like, I'm not going to listen. Like I listen to a bunch of other stuff. Like if there's a clip, hell, maybe, but I don't even think I've ever even watched the Fight Club clip.
Sounds good. I see Darrel's in the chat. Darrel, let me know if you want to come up. Maybe you can clear up some things so we don't misspeak on your name. And Rico's up here too, so maybe you guys can chop it up if you'd like to. All right. While that's going on, let's play this a little bit more of this, and then I got something else.
We're gonna talk about that in another stream. That Buddy is a whole ass clown, bro.
Man, shout out to Mike TV.
He thought he was doing something. Hey, somebody reach out to E-Black. Let him know we want Tawana here to clarify something on this stream here because my man Darrel over here is making some claim. Oh, he rolling up shit. All right, why not?
I already got it rolled.
Let's look at these screenshots. Do I need to move on? So Tawana right now is the one giving advice to Lucky. What was the relationship between
before me and Tawana fell out? You know what I'm saying? Everybody fell out with each other on some dumb shit, bro. Like real immature shit, in my opinion. Tawana, let me say this. Tawana is a genuine person, right? Great mom, great wife, great person. how she was treated on Lapeef was it was the fucking foundation for all of this. We're watching a pregnant woman be dragged, right? I did a video called Surviving Lapeef. The first one was called Tawana and Anton, right? Because you're going around talking to this woman. You wouldn't want nobody talking to Rita like that, especially while she was pregnant. And then when Tawana's husband came back on the screen, he said, no, bring that nigga back in here so I can tell him about his wife, right? Like I said, it's certain stuff I can't even talk about.
Hold up. Rogue Hero, shout out to you. You're absolutely right, bro. I don't know who Mike TV is. All right. And listen, y'all are thinking, okay, just because we talk about the same thing in the same space doesn't mean that we were collaborating together before any of this. I didn't even know that Mike TV was Mr. Real Estate. I didn't even know who Mr. Real Estate was. I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on my mission, which is calling these guys out. And that's what I've been doing since before these niggas got here to be doing what I'm doing. So I didn't know. So when Chicago Rilla was telling me something, if anything, I was still defending Mike because I didn't know anything. What I knew was the Mike TV I knew then, right? And that was a dude that was pretty cool. I thought he was cool, like the FBA and all some of the stuff he was talking about. I thought.
Let me pause that for a minute, Rico. A question just popped into my mind, if you don't mind me. Why is Sotomayor going after, Darrel?
Why is who going after Darrel?
Tony Sotomayor. Tommy, I mean, my bad.
They was getting along from what I could see a few weeks ago. And they had a blow up on on Darrel's panel. At the time, he had a stream called Setting the Record Straight. And Tommy's just a natural born asshole. Basically, Tommy went after Darrel about which Darrel will come up and tell you guys the situation that he had with the relationship with the young lady named Lucky. And Tommy took a shot at him about, calling Darrel a stalker from what I could get at it.
Mm-hmm.
And Darrel's not the type of person that, like, if you're going to take a shot at him, he's going to come back at you, and he's going to come back at you with of equal or greater measure. And I don't give a fuck what he say about Tommy. Tommy's a piece of shit anyway, so.
I don't get it. Everybody knows Tommy's a hot mess.
Right. Only thing I would tell Darrel,
does he
I don't
get
even
so
know why
much
you was fooling with
respect?
his ass in the first place, but Darrel's a grown man. He can fool with whoever he want. And I just think he just had his panel open, and Tommy went up there and does what he does on any panel that you let that motherfucker on. He's going to derail it, and he's going to destroy it. And eventually anybody that align with him, it's going to be a short relationship because he's Tommy. And that's what it is. So now, and Darrel's not one that's going to let go. I can promise you that. You pick a fight with him, he's going to take it to the end of time. So Tommy, he met somebody like himself, but Darrel doesn't traditionally go after black women. He may go after black men, and I'm not going to say he's never said anything about black women, but he said that about a specific black woman, not black women in general. So if I don't like a black woman, I may have an issue with that black woman, but it doesn't mean I have issues with all black women. We're like Tommy and Anton. You can see, no, they just shit on black women that they don't even know. And I've never seen Darrel do that, because I would definitely, approach him like, hey, you can't say that. So that was just a situation like that. Tommy played it up like he does if Tommy came up here right now before the end of the night, we all be fighting his ass, and he would go and do a bunch of streams about us, and he would flip it the other way. That's what Tommy does. He just does. So that's where that came from. But I just put a couple of videos in the back chat. That's the only reason why I came up. So you could see the B-Nicks and you could see Chicago was on the channel. And that's what I wanted to drop the videos in so you wouldn't have to work.
Much appreciated. I appreciate that.
You can clear anything up, like I said.
Fantastic.
But definitely put those videos is in the back for you to look at, DJ. You can look at whenever you want, or you can play it.
Oh, I'm queuing them up right now.
Oh, okay. So you guys have fun. I've seen them, but you'll see. Hopefully that'll give you guys some. I can't go through all the catalog. I just wanted to give you the B-Nicks video, and that was the original cast. I don't think that was the very first, but that was early, long before any of the others. and it was just the four of them like that. Would be like that all Thursday night, and then the other one was the video with I forgot what I said. The other, because one was B Nix and the other one was Chicago Rilla. I'm just showing you, and he's been on there that was like almost a year and a half ago. So he was there. So that's the same guy. You will recognize the voice. But you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later, Mr. Long.
Okay, thanks, Rico.
Yep.
Happy anniversary.
Oh God.
Oh, you know something? I think I should just take over the show with my
Anniversary.
Okay, I like that better.
Yeah, dang, Sexy Red, you're making me look bad.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to the show, Sexy Red.
Hey, hi.
So, what's going on with you, Sexy Red?
What's good? How you doing?
Just chilling, you know.
You over here cooking?
Just you know.
You setting the whole
I use
place
a
on
microwave over
fire.
here, though. I use a microwave, so.
Nah, it sounds like an air fryer. You got all 10 of the settings. So have you noticed that these guys compare themselves to women when they get into it? I think that is so, because I caught that today between the Queen Maker Prince Stella and her debate with Saint and the Sinner.
Yeah.
And it was a shit show. It was awful. His it was just awful. It was awful the way he displayed himself up there. And I think she handled herself well. And he was really in his feelings. He really was. It got so bad to where he was like, I could shave off my beard and put on a wig and I'll look better than her. I said, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, go for it, fella.
Yeah, go for it.
Get your zest on, you know?
Yeah, do it. So I just thought that was kind of odd. But I decided, I think I'm gonna stay away from these panels. It doesn't serve me well. It's about staying in my femininity and protecting my peace.
I hear that. I mean, it's funny how men are judging a woman's femininity, but here we are.
Well, I've come to the conclusion that they can judge our femininity because they want to be just as feminine as we are.
No matter what you do, no matter what women do, it's never enough. She could be the perfect everything, and it's still not. They'll still find something wrong with her.
That is so true.
What's going on, family? How you doing today?
What's good?
Hey, Darrel.
How you doing, Sexy Red? How you doing? Let me put a shirt on real quick. Let me talk to y'all. Hold on.
Ethan Queen, how you doing tonight?
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Sure can.
All right. How you doing today, bro? First, I want to say thank you for letting me on the channel. It's my first time over here. I really do. I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I have seen a little bit via algorithm just suggesting your channel. But as you know, I haven't really been in your chat, so I'm not going to sit up and act like I have. You feel me? But let's keep it a beam. The problem with these people in this space, bro, is they wanted to lie about who they were while at the same time try to set a standard for the black community. I'm gonna address all of them, right? So as far as Anton, the black woman is the biggest threat to the black man. She's the biggest threat, more of a threat than the white man has ever have been. I mean, I feel like I don't even have to break down that statement. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so ignorant. You feel me? While at the same time, Yanni, can you take my wife off the thumbnail? But you got Dwayne Wade, wife and kids on thumbnails. You got people who not celebrities. Oh yeah, tyranny. Your kids gonna be making license plates to me in the future. Okay. Well, we supposed to not talk about your family at all, big dog. Cool.
No,
but the real problem.
Let's break it down. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but let's break it down like this. How involved was Anton's wife in the operation?
Somebody said my sound is crackling. Is my sound crackling?
It's going. I'm over here dying because it sounds like you're going from bass to treble, from bass. Like your voice.
It sounds like you're on auto tune.
Hold on. Let me switch my headphones. Hold on.
Hope everybody in the chat's doing well.
I got a few different headsets I'm working with. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better. Perfect.
All right.
I gotta start using
my actual headset.
But another problem that they have, bro, like let's look at
Tommy, for example.
Tommy has been banned for going at
Women. He go at
women every
single day.
right? Every single day he go at women. He had a
Petition with 14,000 women that signed to
get him out of here.
right? So while you're
On here trying to hold
women accountable,
women are a baby mama.
oh, you knew what that man was doing
to you.
You know what you was doing with that man.
And so
They tried to call me out
with the Lucky situation.
So I played
The clip
of her saying that she pegged the man
who was
married
for
$1,200. Of that $1,200, she
split with
the person that she did it with.
right.
Okay, can I stop you right there for 1 second?
Talk to me.
I really don't care what she was doing. The problem is that I don't even know when she did that. Okay, when she pegged a man. The problem I have is when somebody does something like that and then they start to judge other people. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm about
to get into
because
they would judge
other
women for that same
exact stuff, right? And they
would say,
"Oh man, well she was 19 or 20 when
she did that.
Well, a lot of the women that y'all judge, they was
19 or
20
when they had a kid,
when they did
something else,
right? The same
way
way
I said,
y'all going
that 6 to goddess
for
stripping,
right? And if you look at the video that Nathan played, she had clothes on.
You couldn't see
her nipples. You couldn't see none of that, right?
Wasn't Tommy a porn star? Or isn't he
exactly?
A porn star?
Tommy's on
OnlyFans now because he broke.
No real job,
no real skills,
no education.
He said he had a
MD to be
a psychologist. I mean,
stop playing,
right?
Wait. So, hold on 1 second. Can you define? Because believe it or not all of us know what pegging is. If you can give us the explanation.
So pegging
is as clean as possible, but
as clean as possible, right? There's like
if
a man who wants
to enjoy
something being stuffed
in his rectum,
right, for pleasure.
Okay.
Right.
So
she did that to a
married man. It's not
me saying it.
It's on her channel.
I'm not even trying to drag
her. But like you said, you're going on and you're
fucking
really dissing other women for what they doing. And I've heard her diss baby mamas, but you're a baby mama. So when I would start saying this stuff, people, I didn't know she even had a kid because her talking points were they're not genuine.
And that was
my
only
point. Question. I know this is a long shot though.
No, talk
was
to me.
Was that married man a part of the Lapeef network?
I can't really go into
that, bro.
Okay, I understand.
I can't really go
into that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
But
is the mic
still chopped up or is it good
now?
It's really. I mean, I can hear what you're saying, but it's going up and down as far as the timbre of it for some reason.
Your pitch keeps going from like high to low, but like we're getting everything that you're saying.
Yeah,
I was about to say because I can I'm on my iPad right now. I can
switch to like my
microphone, my Blue Yeti
or
something like that if y'all need me to,
man. But
I'm just shaking like
I'm just
moving right now.
But
I will join
like
and my mic will be better in like 5 minutes. I'll
join from my computer,
my iMac.
But my whole point
was this, bro, is it's like,
and people
say I'm in a band though. No, y'all crazy, man. I just my mic not plugged up. This is
my microphone
right here.
I have a whole
Blue Yeti. It's just
not plugged up.
I be chilling.
But for me,
bro, the thing was
this, man.
Don't be online talking about women
are trash
and all this different
stuff when you the same
one, right,
who pegged a married
man, right?
But y'all would
never address that on Lapeef.
And the reason
they would never address that on Lapeef is because it's going to make their
audience look
bad. That's why they kicked her off
Lapeef.
They kicked her off Cruise
Season.
Because you're lying to the
audience,
and that's not something that they can
afford to do.
If we really being real, bro, they can't afford that.
Right. So, what are your thoughts about what is it? The security boss trying to tell women how to be herself, and then at the same time defending Austin Holloman, who brags about banging 50 women in 30 days.
I think I got love for security boss too, but
security boss
she a hypocrite, bro. She a hypocrite, and I hate to say it, but she is.
That's really
all I can say on her.
Understood. If anybody has any questions for him in the chat, please pop them in, and we'll get them in here real quick, and I'll be happy to ask him. So what is your what's up next for you? And I mean, what is your overall feeling of Lapeef now? If they asked you to come back, would you go back?
I was never a part of Lapeef. A lot of people think that because of what happened on Yanni.
Right.
But I was never, ever, ever a part of Lapeef.
Okay.
Ever. What I was I was one of the people that called Anton out from the beginning, right? Lucky would feed me information. Her and Courtney Michelle would feed me information about JR, and we would weaponize it. That's how I knew about her and JR relationship, right? And even
So
on
are you
Duke the
saying that
Dime.
they didn't like JR or didn't respect JR?
What happened was JR and Anton, they decided to bring a young lady on there by the name of Amira Exiled.
Okay.
Right? Amira Exiled and Courtney had a very bad falling out. Even if you type in to this day, Lapeef, let me clarify, right? Lapeef, let me clarify. It's going to be a thumbnail with Courtney explaining how she was upset about that whole situation. And at the end of that video, I pop up twice and we have a whole conversation. I really rock with you, Darrel. I support the stuff that you do in the community because I was actually doing stuff for mental health. I actually work with children in real life in my community, and I can prove this. And they know that, right? But my problem with them was, again, you're saying mental health don't matter on Lapeef Network, but then we know that postpartum depression is real, especially in Black women. Right? There's not a single Black woman that can refute that, or white, or any other woman, right? But you don't have those conversations on there. It's all about get the bag. It's all about keep your legs closed. When every single woman on that show is a baby mama. Outside of Kay and Kayla, everybody else is baby mamas. Courtney, right? Lucky, right? Tawana. So if you keep going, all of these women had children. So I just don't like all the goofy shit. And it's one thing I learned in this space is there's gonna be Black women right now like Heather or Heathen. A lot of these people be trolls, bro. A lot of people be trolls. I don't know if they're real people or not, but I know that according to the internet, you can be Tommy Sotomayor. You can have 14,000 women sign a petition against you, and other women don't even care because I don't know if it's entertaining. I don't know if they got no life, bro, and YouTube is what get them going. I don't know. But when I see somebody who I got 2 daughters, when I see a young man saying, and I asked Tommy on my show, right, Mr. Torch, and if you need me to, I will clip it and I will email it to you. Tommy, this is my problem with him because he made it seem like it was about Lucky. Lauren Smith Fields, do you know her? Before I even keep going.
Nora Smith Fields?
Lauren Smith Fields. That's right.
No.
Lauren Smith Fields is an African-American woman who died in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the same day that another Black woman died, 52 years old, by the name of Brenda Ross. Now, Lauren Smith Fields allegedly was deleted by a white man by the name of Matthew Lafontaine.
Okay.
When Tommy Sotomayor did a reaction to it, he said she deserved to die because she was having sex with white men, right? So I brought Tommy back on my show. I said, Tommy, if your daughter had sex with a white man and she was deleted, are you telling me that Black men shouldn't protect her or want to like petition the justice system so we can find out what really happened to her? And he said, no, man, she deserved to die. And that was my problem with him is at the end of the day, you're one of them people who's going to spew misinformation. We can get online and type shit in the chat all day. What happened to the men who are actually going out to the police station?
Can I
and
ask you
talking
a question
to the
about Tommy real quick? I heard that he's a pal, that David Duke is one of his pals. Is that true? Do you know?
I don't know. I wish I can say hell yeah, but I can't put nothing on nobody that I don't know.
I got some information that actually even a recording back and forth, but I can't. You know, I needed to get something solid before I get down.
No doubt, bro. The thing is like when it comes to the whole thing with them boys over there, man, it's a reflection of the Black community, right? Because I hear these same men, y'all support drug dealers, y'all. It's the same thing, bro. Y'all supported a man in Kevin Samuels that was twice divorced, telling women to get married.
Right.
Y'all support Anton, who talks about kicking women in the chest. And I stump him down, I beat him down. But then if somebody said it about Sharita, his wife, now you up in arms in your feelings. Right? And that's I don't like that hypocrisy stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then Anton did a video saying, I know where Darrel live at. I know where his people live at. I know everything about him. That's a threat, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I
That's
assess
happened to me.
threats like a real G. You feel me? And me and him, we both in Detroit. I can get in my car right now, go on the freeway, and I'll be right downtown where he filmed his goddamn studio shit. That don't do coconut. And he would never come outside to say that same shit in my face. And if you don't have that type of energy, as black men and men, period, we got to know when to speak and when not to speak, how to speak and how not to speak, so we can have healthy communication, bro. I'm so big on mental health because 80% of all self-deletions in the black community, my brother, are black men. So if we just run around here acting like our behavior isn't detrimental to us, to our families, to our communities, then we're doing ourselves a disservice.
Right. But it seems weird to me because, you know, black men, why are we, if we have all these issues, which I 100% agree with you, we have all these issues, why are we even, we have so many issues we need to solve within ourselves. So why are we even bringing up women? When you know what I mean? It's like, you see how crazy Tommy is. You see how crazy Anton is. You see how crazy, you know, everybody else on their panel is. You see how crazy Kevin Samuel was. But somehow we're blaming black women, not white women, not Asian women, not Latin women, black women. I think what it is that for some reason, they want black women to become Captain Save-A-Ho. That's all I can think, because we have so much work we can do. You know, Anton has so much work he can do for him on himself, not anybody else. Tommy has a lot of work he needs to get done. He seems like, to me, he has a heavy dosage of self-hate. So I mean, there needs to be another pill system. I don't know what it calls, maybe self-accountability pill. I don't know what, for us to start working on ourselves. I mean, I keep telling the young man in this space that if you work on yourself and you build yourself and you become consistent and dependable and strong, the women will come. You don't have to go looking for them. They will come. Women have a good sensory system. Sometimes they might not heed to it, but they know what's going on. The thing is that I always hear this thing is, why you choose so good? Why didn't you choose better? Why didn't you choose better? But women, to me, one of my opinions is, when I hear that, is because black women love giving the underdog a chance to their own detriment. So a quality that anybody would be a quality in anybody else, these men want to make a shortcoming. Now, don't get me wrong. For my thing is, black women, take care of yourself, because us brothers, we got our own issues we got to deal with. Be selfish. Don't cook. Don't clean, because that's not what they really mean. What they're saying is that they want these unstable men want control of you. That's all they're saying. They just want control of you. And all the men out there who are either unstable or not, if you're truly looking for a relationship with a woman, focus on being a gentleman. People might call you a simp, but you're not out here looking for a woman who's going to call you a simp. You're out here looking for a woman who's going to appreciate your quality. Okay? Don't let this slang vibe, this you can call it hip hop culture, which is different than the music hip hop. Hip hop culture about running through hoes and all that kind of stuff. Don't let that be where you are built from. Okay? That's the best advice I can give you, fellas. And if you don't like it, F you. All I can say is just be a gentleman and see where that gets you. And another point I need to make is this. Fellas, when you're bitter at women, I want you to go through memory lane and remember all the women you either forgot about, ran through, dogged out, or just didn't put enough effort into. You will start to feel better about your situation, because you're going to say to yourself, you know something? I had my chances. I had my chances. Men can hit the wall too. The wall is a mental state. Has nothing to do with age. It might be associated with age because when you get older, the wall gets taller. But if you're always going in a mental loop of negativity, you've hit the wall. That's where, I mean, a loop is worse than a wall. A loop is because you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, the wrong things over and over and over again, and expecting better results. I remember I was dating a very kind young lady way back in the day. Way back, I think there were dinosaurs back then. That's how old I am. Anyway, her mother said something to her, and she told that to me, which was, if you keep doing what you've done, you will always get what you always have gotten. Now, I'm sure plenty of you have heard that before, right? You've heard it, but that's when I heard it. I'm not saying I'm an original, but think about it. If you keep doing what you've done, you will always get what you've always gotten. That goes for both men and women. But men, we got problems. We got problems. We're dropping people. We're dropping. We're getting angry. Come on. Let's fix us first, fellas. Fix us first, and then see where you were at with the dating, because you're not going to help anybody if you have a bad temper, if you're angry all the time, if you're in an unstable situation, if you don't have a good job. I mean, think about it. Let's say the woman of your dreams walked into your life right now and she was fit, feminine, submissive, blah, blah, blah. Are you really ready to take care of somebody? I mean, think about it. Are you really ready to take care? You have the financial backing, you have the mental state, you have the character, you have the fortitude, you have the patience. Look, you guys are complaining because you're saying women are submissive. Well, we can't even get along with each other. The stats bear it out. We're mowing each other down. At least black women, okay? At least black women, they ain't mowing each other down, okay? So you have to give them that much. Don't get mad at them for going to school and then getting jobs. What do you expect? We are in the streets. Future came up with she's made for the streets. No, we are in the streets. When you drive down your neighborhood, okay, how many dudes do you see in the streets? And how many women do you see in the streets? The better mental state you put yourself in, the better life will look. And to Darrel's observation, I believe if we can put ourselves in a better mental state, those self-deletions will start to reduce little by little. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, it's going to change around. It's going to be perfect in 2025. It ain't going to be no jive. I ain't going to say that. But little by little, things will get better. But yeah, by all means, you can call me a simp, everybody. All the fellas out there, feel free. I'm just gonna sit at home and pour me a nice little soda pop, drink, whatever. You know, I took myself a walk today. You know, it was a very long walk. I went to this other neighborhood. It was sad to see. It was sad to see, you know, blood marks on the ground. And I knew what that was from. It wasn't from a dog. Let's put it that way. It was from somebody's dog. So
yeah, man, it's very sad, man. Very sad.
yeah, we got to control our anger. So, I mean, simply put, that's whatever fixes our anger issues will fix a whole lot of other stuff.
That was brilliant, OG. Everything you said, like the I could hear the passion. So that shows that you care. I think as far as like the men in the space that obviously have animosity towards Black women, I think it's because it's easier because it's like they're the closest. You know, like
Yes.
at this, you can have frustrations with dating or your relationships there. That's fair, you know. But I think it's easy. And to be quite honest, like I had said last week or a few days ago, I found myself in the manosphere. And honestly, what I learned from it, just from being in that spot, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? It's me. Like, let's say what these guys are saying is true. Even based off of that logically, step outside of them being mad and being like, oh, the women. Even if that's the case, if I actually believed anything that I said I agreed with, I would realize and come to the conclusion that it's me. It's not the women.
Yeah.
Because because the red pill and the manosphere, they say this is how women are. Women care about this, this, and that. And I think some people would agree surface level. Like some of the stuff they say is like outlandish, where they're like, oh, women just want to suck you dry. But no, women care about stability and money. So if you broke and that's what they care about, and it makes sense because they bear children, then like, how do you look? And that's
Right.
what I realized. And I was like, you know, and even with that, like, it's not all about like balling all out. I'm not focused on me. I'm so worried about like, oh, girls, because like I'm not like a lot of the guys in space. I wasn't for the streets. I just wanted one girl, and I was having trouble with that. And that got me bummed out. But then I realized, like, yo, I need to worry about me. It's not about them. And if they are the way that they are, then like I can't be mad at them because I'm gonna get mad at them when they don't understand maybe something that I have a preference about. So like, how am I gonna get mad the other way around? I'm not even doing what would attract them. And that's the problem, is because it's easier. It's like, okay, you hurt. Move on, brother. Move
Right.
on. It's okay to have your feelings hurt for whatever reason, even if it's something unreasonable. Like they be getting mad at girls that they say they don't want, not wanting them. And it's like, yo, you say the same thing. You say that the women do the same thing. They be like, oh, like how you said earlier, oh, well, they picked them. Brother, you're picking them. You're picking them too. There's a choice. Like, yeah, women, you know, they choose their mate, but like you have to agree to it on the other end, bro. So like you look the same. Just take the information and apply it and move. You don't gotta, you know, hey, if like a younger guy comes up, you know, he's having trouble, you know, you pass on the information, but you don't turn it into a berating party where it's like, yeah, the reason what you need to learn is, brother, you can't trust them. They all bad and this and that. And learn and do this instead because that'll show them because you're better because men built society. And that's toxic. That keeps people in the same rut and it keeps them watching this crap. The
Right.
grifters, because like I said, some of these cats believe it, and I think that makes it more dangerous. They believe it, and this is how they make money. But then there are some bulls that are completely just lying and they're just taking advantage. And it's sad because I think young men are in a bad place nowadays. But this is not going to help them. This is not going to make them better fathers or brothers or neighbors or husbands. Like this, it does the opposite. It stunts them.
Nailed it. I mean, basically the thing is that sometimes women do us a favor. Like if a woman turns you down or, you know, gives you bad energy, it's not such a bad thing. My problem was back in the day is that I didn't listen to believe it or not, what they were telling me, one way or the other. I remember I had the opportunity to date a business class woman. She just was sprung on me. Back in the day, we call it sprung. She would do anything for me. But no, I had to go chase after, some woman who just wasn't, let me put it this way, she wasn't business class, if you know what I mean. So knowing that, when you acknowledge that, hey, look, wait a minute. In the life of love, you only get so many chances. Okay, you don't have to dwell on times that you've fricked up, but you do need to remember them so you know where you are, you know where you came from, you know that you had your chance. When you say that, it makes you less angry because it's like, hey, I had my chance. Okay, so here I am now in the now though. I'm in the now though, and I know that I was given an opportunity by women. You see what I'm saying? So I was given the opportunity. I messed it up. I just got to wait for my next opportunity. Now, I guess in the red pill, what they like to do is give you a way to emulate or to fake an opportunity to trick women into either liking you with the pickup artist style, or to tell you when you should put your wallet on the table. And I can understand a person's frustration, especially if you don't remember all the people that you did wrong. And that's the problem I believe a lot of us have, is we don't remember all the times that we did something wrong to somebody. Karma, these men in the manosphere, what they're feeling, most of them, especially if you're in your mid-30s or upper 40s, that's karma paying you back. That's karma. That's why you're not finding the right one. Believe it or not, the men that usually get, are in the happiest marriages are the ones that I just want one. I just want one woman. There are men who are angry because women won't let them run through them. Their basis for self-esteem is how many women can I attract, have sex with, and use for my own pleasure. And you notice it because every time they go on, like, let's say Kendra G's dating site or something, they also talk about what they want from the woman, but never have very little to say on what they can offer to the woman. They can talk about what they want from her, but they ain't got nothing to give. And there's nothing wrong with not having nothing to give, but you have to work on that. You can't expect, you can't expect things to go your way. If, it's basically, where's the deal? If you ain't got nothing, don't expect nothing. If you got a little something, then expect a little something. But don't expect to get a high-end woman, okay, who's been well traveled as far as going to places and being knowledgeable but you just want to be you. And maybe you don't want to aspire to do things big like she did. Don't get mad at her. If you get mad at her, what is telling you that she's just not for you, and just walk to the next person. We're trying to make something out of nothing. Whether they might not have anything, and you might be the person who's, well, if you know they ain't got nothing, then don't go after them if you don't want to. Equally yoked is really, really logical. Let's put it that way. It's a logical thought. It's
The
a
problem
logical thought.
the problem a lot of these guys are having is that they're begging for something that they don't qualify for. You can't
Exactly.
beg for a traditional woman and you can't provide for her and ask her to pay half of the bills and ask her to be a servant to you, and you're not capable of taking care of her whole existence. And then when women say that they want that, these men in turn will say, "Were you just looking to use someone?"
Right. Exactly. I wanted to look for this video. Where is it? Where did I put it? Here it is, right here. Where is it at? Here we go. Here we go.
Yes. More than one?
Yep, I got 3.
So you didn't know you had 3 kids when you were 31?
No, I didn't know I had my oldest one.
Oh, you didn't know you had your oldest kid.
Right.
So you knew you had 2. How old are your children?
Well, my oldest one is 8.
You look familiar to anybody? He's a guest at the Lapeef Network.
That's Jay Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jay Prince.
So I'm going to make a quick example. He's got 3 kids, 2 women. Wait.
About to be 9 July 17th, and then I got a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old daughter.
How many women?
2.
Okay.
Okay.
He's got a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old daughter. Now, let's not even call him Jay Prince. Let's just call him Bachelor number 1. I mean, you have to understand, really, quite honestly, he shouldn't even be looking for a woman. He's got a 1-year-old. That's your time is
Sorry, I
up.
want to know who. I need to offer free sessions to any woman that's lying with this man. Like free sessions. We need to give him some help.
Madison Goldman says loser number 1.
Hey, why you not with the woman that had your baby a year ago?
We tried to work things out, but it just didn't. We was different people.
So I'm assuming the 3 and the 1-year-old has the same mom.
No, the 3 and the 8-year-old has the same mom.
So what's the child you didn't know about?
The 8-year-old.
So you had a 3-year-old.
So what happened? What happened, Kendra? When I found out about my 8-year-old,
When you're in a conversation like this, and it's getting a little bit dicey like this, I won't say it's really dicey, not in comparison to what goes on the Lapeef, but and I guarantee you he wants a 10.
Wait. I wanna. This is what we see a lot in the community, Jay Prince has custody of all his seeds, and he works. Whoop-de-doo. So do a lot of women have custody of all their seed. Is he supposed to get some type of congratulations? This man is procreating all around, and we're supposed to give him what for having his children? Great. Right. So do women every day, and they're talked about like dogs. So he gets no kudos for being an adult.
Red Wine, can you define 33 priors? So are you saying that he's got a record? Just one.
4 at the time. I went to the city that she was at, moved up there, try to get, because that's my first child, and try to do the family thing. And me and her mom had sex like one time, and she ended up getting pregnant with my 3.
Okay, he's got 33 priors. That's a lot. I mean, it's not the fact that you've had brush-ins with the law. It's the fact is, it sounds like you got something you need to work on.
A lot he needs to work on, and these are not the people who needs to be giving advice to children.
Right.
Because we know that 14, 15-year-old little boys without a father at home are listening to this garbage.
I remember this came up I think last weekend, Jay Prince being on Kendra G, and they were clowning him on there for this, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see somebody with when you have it. If it was me, if I had just half the tattered past, it's apparently that he has had. I'm not going to go on no dating show. I'm gonna fly under the radar. That's just me, though.
Well, I don't think. I mean, he's allowed to go on a dating show. I think it would be like if he's ever made like a kind of a staunch criticism, saying like, "Oh, this, and that," and then he's doing the same thing, saying it. Then we can come at that. Him going on the dating show, I don't think, because like, get this, so we can say the same thing about, you know, because I've seen some women on the Kendra G show. It attracts a certain kind of person, you know. So like even on there, that, you know, they got all kinds of stuff messed up, and it's like, and Kendra gets somebody here, like, well, how can you ask for that? So it's the same thing. So like if he's ever said something that contradicts, like at least I guess like what he wants or how he's moving in comparison to like whatever kind of partner he's looking for, then it would be an issue. I don't think.
No, it's an issue because these men sit up and they judge women all day long. And they talk greasy about women all day long. So it's an issue.
That's what I'm saying, depending on what is said. Because like Jay Prince has been on Fight Club, but I've never heard Jay Prince give dating advice or anything like that.
Anybody greasy when you're running around with felonies or 33 counts on your record and running around procreating all over, and you have a 3-year-old and you're looking to victimize somebody else, or you're looking for a woman to take care of your children because you really don't want to be a mother and a father.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the things that are talked about, like at least like I've only seen Jay Prince on Fight Club. The things that are talked about, like it's all kinds of different things. It's not always like something about women or relationships.
Sir,
that
I don't care if
up.
he said it once. I don't care if he only said it once. He's not the person to be saying it.
Oh, well then, yeah, if he's contradicted himself, then yeah, I could
sir,
pointing that out.
His whole life is contradiction to any.
I'm saying he's not like an influencer, so he's not someone.
Everybody
like,
is an influencer. Funny. Anytime you're on this platform and people hear you, you're influencing someone.
Well, let me check and see, because I thought he was. I thought he was at least trying to be.
I think he does have a channel, but like he
does have a channel.
He's not a manosphere guru or anything like that. I
don't think any of them are. I don't think any of them are gurus. They might pretend they are.
Yeah, I say that in quotes. But I don't think anyone there would even claim that they were that. But again, it's more about like the ideas, what was said about what particular topic or subject, and criticize the idea. But it's funny that he was on Kendra G. Kendra G is hilarious.
I mean, Kendra G, that's actually one of the best shows on YouTube.
It's hella entertaining.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
You never know where you're going to get. It's funny. It's funny to me. It's a good show. I like it. I can't think of too many other shows that are that entertaining. I mean, you just have to give it to her. She does good. She's funny to watch herself. She's always making these expressions.
My 3-year-old now, and that was it. That's how I ended up getting the 8-year-old and the 3-year-old by the same mom.
Who do you have custody of?
All my girls.
So they all live with you.
Yep.
Okay. Just curious, how did the moms lose custody to you?
Well, the mom.
Hello, May. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, May.
She fell off.
Oh, she fell off. She'll come back.
Yeah.
She gave me my oldest child. Yeah, so I helped them out so they could be in my daughter's lives, but it's kind of rough. I had started a business, a food truck, and
this is very important to listen to. Listen to this very closely.
Well, I was building my food truck, but I had to stop once my two youngest came. So I'm at a standstill with that because I wanted to show my daughters how to be entrepreneurs.
So you have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, 8-year-old. They all live with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and there was no way you could work it out with the woman that had your baby a year ago.
Nah, some women got a different type of mindset about
1, 3, 8. What were you going to teach your daughters at that age in a food truck?
Life.
Because that's a different baby mom, right? The 1-year-old mom.
Yeah.
So, and what happened with her?
She really gave up all her children to the dads.
How many children she had?
Wait.
Three.
Ooh,
3 different
pause.
dads.
Wait. Jesus. So he slept with a woman that giving up all her children, but they're talking about women who unknowingly get into and have one baby, and they're all of a sudden ran through and single baby mothers, and they don't deserve love. But he's out here wilding with a woman who didn't keep any of her children.
Right. He should have chose better.
Hey, May.
Hey, y'all. I have a question for Darrel, but I guess before that, I want to, since we're on this topic, this is what I wanted to say. This is just my opinion. I think there's a stalemate because there's this this carefulness that, you know, this delicacy that everybody has about having children randomly and recklessly. For some reason, it's like, and what I see is that everybody wants to protect women and want to sympathize and say, you know, ooh, the single mother, we can't talk bad about the single mother. But what that does is it empowers men like this guy to also have the space to say, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. So I think that it's going to be necessary that men and women are treated equally as it relates to having children in this wanton way that they're doing. And so what I'm suggesting is that we do need to judge. And I'm not saying like how Red Pill judges. I'm saying judge in the sense of saying this is not ideal. This doesn't work. It's not the good thing to do. It doesn't help children. And we know for a fact, statistically, that children do not benefit from coming up in broken homes economically, socially. They don't benefit. They just don't. There's no winning in it. And I think it's black trash culture. And I think we need to call it that. I don't care if it's a woman who it happened one time or a woman it happened 5 times or a man it happened one time. We got to call a spade a spade. And I think because we want to shelter women from this reality, that we can't deal fairly and equitably with these men who are doing the same shit. And I
don't know, May. I think the women do get talked about by other women about not being married. I mean, women have always been shunned and criticized and ridiculed for having children outside of wedlock. Now, a lot of it does have to do when they're having multiples. It has a lot to do with socioeconomics and the environment they're in and generational poverty, but not as an excuse, just as an aside.
But the men are dealing with the same stuff. They coming from the same broken families.
But the men are not being responsible. They're not being responsible for keeping these children. These women, most of these women are keeping these children and raising them. And most of the men
I'm to the point of before they even have the child. That's what I'm saying. That's where the stupidity starts. Mm-hmm. Male and female. That's where the stupidity started. That was trashy behavior where it started. You know what I'm saying? Whether they came from whatever kind of background, we just got to call it what it is. It's trashy behavior from humanity, male and female alike. And all I'm saying is I think that's why these men think they have a scapegoat, because they see how everybody, for the most part, seems to kind of shelter and make excuses for women. And my thing is this. This is my thing. I feel like women do not hold themselves into high regard. That's what I feel. I feel like women, if we understood the sacredness and the power, the glory that we hold, that is something we are just throwing away and giving away to trash. I mean,
but that's the
total
point.
Trash.
But that's the point you just made. Most women they've never been told that they're valuable. They don't know what someone understanding value in themselves looks like. So they're raised by women who don't value themselves. And you can't get from someone what they don't have within them.
Yeah, but I mean, and the same thing for the men. You see what I'm saying? So that guy that's on the screen, he can say the same exact thing. He didn't know his value as a person. He didn't realize he was ruining his future and da 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 da. But
I don't disagree.
I agree.
I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is that yes, before they start having children, but you have this. A lot of times women are still involving themselves in the community, whereas when men get to a certain status, especially black men, they're not they're not paying it forward. It's like they're not going back into the community in large numbers to help disadvantaged children, disadvantaged boys.
So does that make the bad choices less bad? Just because, I mean,
That's
that's
not the point
good,
I'm
but
making. That's not even a point I'm making.
oh,
All,
sorry.
all I'm saying is there needs to be a responsibility for people who have made it out to go back and feed back into those people so that they can become better, so that the next generation can become better, because you can't pull out of something from someone that's never been poured into them.
Yeah, I think that I guess that's the hard part, because at some point you have to say, we've had this discussion before, you have to almost separate yourself. You know what I mean? Water seeks its own level.
Right.
And so you even wonder, like, are those type of people that operate like that deal with that, is that even somebody that is connected to me in any way? You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that something that's even my responsibility? Can I be held
No,
accountable?
and the thing about it is, that's the thing, that's the thing, because I don't feel a certain level of responsibility to people. I just don't anymore, because what you have is you pour yourself out and there's nothing pouring back into you, and you've emptied yourself out to a demographic of people who could care less, who would end your life over $5. So it's almost like, for me, it's almost like I can help people that are around me that want to be helped, people that seek, because if they're seeking information, if they're seeking to find something, and there are some who are seeking to get out of that, they look for the help. So you can be in the places that they look for help within your own demographic, like within your own geographical area, if these people are seeking help. But to go back into an impoverished area as who you are may get you hurt, may get you harmed, may get your family harmed.
Yeah.
So at some point you ask yourself, okay, how do I help, and in what way can I help? And it's only for your safety to help in an area like volunteering at a workforce, or volunteering at somewhere that's center for them to come to, that you're not putting yourself in their environment.
You know, I just wonder, because the accountability piece, I keep hearing it all the time. You know, we got to hold people accountable. So we're supposed to hold ourselves accountable to reach back to somebody who is like some pseudo community that we don't actually belong to. We've had this conversation about what community is and what do we really owe each other, and the whole accountability piece. I can tell you, as a mentor, as a teacher for 16 years, I had many a girl, they would say, "Oh, you can take me, you know, to get a STD check." And then that was the conversation. And now, what if you get pregnant? And what if this? And what if that? Do you realize all the education? And then we're like, what, 4 years later, and now she has 2 children. And we started this journey with an HIV test.
Right.
You
So
see what I'm
nothing,
saying?
yeah.
I have
So
learned the
nothing you
hard way
poured
that
in,
poverty,
nothing you poured in sprouted.
That's what I'm saying. So this accountability piece, in my opinion, because I've worked with at-risk for at least 17 years total, and that's young people. So we talking about trying to correct grown people, that's a whole nother ball game.
Right. And I don't think there is correction for grown people. Like, you either want to do better or you don't, because you're responsible for yourself. And at the point where people are losing themselves and losing their lives to help people who don't want to be helped, that's insane.
That is unfortunate. I also think it would be good, like, you know, we should also try to, like, even like that is true. I would always want to be mindful that, you know, like that I wouldn't want it to deter me from helping. You know, like if I help someone, it's because I want to help. If I want to maybe share something with someone that I think, you know, could help them in any way, or, you know, your community getting involved, like whatever it may be, if you're doing something for someone else, we do it because it's a selfless act. It's not selfless if, you know, we're not worried about. Now, it is unfortunate when, you know, you try and no one seems to want it. But then, yeah, after a while, it's like, okay, well, I've done what I can, and you have to wash your hands of it. But, you know, don't let that, you know, bum you out from helping, you know, the next cat that, you know, could maybe benefit from it.
That's not what she's saying. And that's not what I'm saying.
Oh no,
we're
I
just
wasn't saying that that's what
we
you're saying. I'm saying I agree with you. I was adding, like,
yeah.
I
I mean,
also
I think
I
it,
would want to
it
keep
it
that
should
in
be
mind.
just choosing wisely. It's choosing wisely where you pour yourself into and what you pour your time into.
And I just think on that sexual accountability piece, that's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a lost cause. I think that people just they go back to a poverty mindset. They go back to not even, no matter what you say, you know what I'm saying? They go back to that. And so it's kind of like an endless cycle. And I don't think I don't think it's very fruitful. That's just my opinion. I feel like people come from where they come from. And if they have the wisdom to be able to see something and say to themselves, you know what? I saw my mom struggle and I don't want to be like that. I've seen it. People become super vigilant and they say, I refuse to be like that. And they actually do the opposite. But all the rest of them, like, they're just, in my opinion, it's just a lost cause because they're gonna fall into it not once but twice, three times. Like, you see these guys and you're like, really? You had a child with a woman who wasn't even a mother. She's giving away all her children. And then there'll be another man, another black trash man who comes behind him and has another kid with her. Like, it's a constant cycle. And I just don't think that adults can be held accountable for their sexual and child choices. They just can't be. And I just think it's a lot of, like, SBE, it's just a lot of wasted time shaming
It
people.
is. It is. And men are doing it for the betterment. And that's not why they're doing it. Because at the same time they're wanting women to be, I want you to be chaste, but at the same time I want you to be a freak. I
Yeah, we
want you to
can't
have a
listen to none
low,
of that. We can't
yeah, I
listen to
want
none
you
of
to have a
that.
low body count, but I want you to know how to please me in every way that everybody else has ever pleased me. So their words don't match up with their actions.
Yeah, I think women are getting it more and more. The idea that I will keep all this goodness to my fucking self before I waste it. You know what I'm saying? I think women are, and it's making men more angry, but I think that's where we got to go. We got to go to that. You're going to give me the world before I give. And that's just reality. We have to do that because it's being taken for granted. You got women out here you can't control. They give it away. They throw themselves around. They give men children who aren't even father material. We just have to really, really sift and sift
Right.
and accept nothing less than perfect. That's where we got to stay.
And be darned what they say, because it doesn't even matter. They're saying these things to manipulate women anyway. But I'm proud to see so many women saying it's not even worth it. And the freedom that they have with not dealing with men at this point in their lives and choosing to stay single and work and focus on themselves and their children, if they have children. And then for the women that don't have children, they're extremely happy with not having children, not being tied down, and just focusing on themselves. When you build yourselves up to a certain level, you won't accept just anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I think that it's not about single forever. It's about single until
Exactly.
or when the person who can give me the world. We got to start thinking like that. Can you give me the world? Answer is no. Fuck it. Bye. Can you give me the world? Nope. Fuck you then. We got to be just
The
that
world.
fucking simple. The world. I meant the whole damn world. Whatever you ask for, whatever. White women get it. Jewish women
Exactly.
get it.
And they're
Fuck
not
that.
shamed for it. And they're never shamed for it.
At all, unapologetically. And see, that's the problem. We as Black women, in my opinion, those of us who are educated, who have a good, head on our shoulders and stuff like that, we need to be fucking snobbish and be uppity about it and don't give a fuck, like, for real, because we are preserving the best for the best person, and you don't need to apologize for that. And there is no temporary fix or nobody who can be a stand-in. That's where slip ups happen and these children happen. And I have this wonderful friend, such a wonderful girl, and she messed around, don't believe in abortion, got pregnant by this sorry ass somebody, and he was just I guess you would say, how people have like a breakup and they have a little heartbreak. They let their guard down with somebody who's less than. She kind of did that. Grown woman now, but it ruined her life. It really did.
And
Because
it can happen in a matter of minutes. That's why you have to completely stay on guard. But one thing that women need to do is always surround yourself with women with like minds. And I think a lot of times women don't surround themselves with the best influence. And they try to have a lot of people around them. And when you get a lot of people, you get a lot of things. And my mom used to always tell me, you don't have any friends. And it used to hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. I was like, I want friends. But when I became an adult, I understood what she was saying. What she was saying wasn't that you don't have any friends. It's that your circle will be extremely small for the people that you can actually rely on. For the people that are actually your friends. Because you have friends, you have acquaintances, and you have comrades. Everybody doesn't belong in your inner circle. You have an inner circle, you have an outer circle. And in terms for Christendom, we say you have the inner court, the outer court, the holy, and the holy of holies. And not everybody belongs in those areas. Very few people belong in the holy. And absolutely almost nobody belongs in your holy of holies except for your husband. So your circle is extremely small. And when you have it that way, you can curtail the influence that you have on you, and also you sharpen one another, and it's easier to do when it's not a whole lot of you dealing with a whole lot of different things.
Absolutely. And the more women that when we elevate ourselves, they'll be angry for a while, but then they're going to look up and they're going to hear more people say, well, you need to get yourself together. You know, why aren't you, brother? Why are you in a situation where the only type of women you can date are? At some point, it's going to turn to self-reflection. And, you know, they may have like a couple of phases and emotions they go through, which is none of our problem, nor our business. But eventually, I think a lot of men are going to arrive at self-reflection. What is it about me? Because when you go to this sister 1 through 15, and all of them are saying, not good enough. Sorry, not good enough. Nope, sorry, not good enough. Then at some point, they're going to have to get to a place of self-reflection. I'm not saying they won't get to rage before that, but you know, it's a necessary process.
It is. It's completely necessary. And you know, you have people who say things like women with like minds, oh, the hilarity, modern women are catty. Are you serious? As if we haven't sat here like for 3 hours and listened to men be catty. And so again, you get with like-minded people. Again, I'm not just like women don't need but one man and men don't need but one woman. You don't need a whole lot of friends with like minds. You can find one friend with a like mind, and iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely. And that's why, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, one of the things in our Black community, or whatever we want to call it, I feel like we just gonna have to start calling a spade a spade. And I don't mean shame as in what people have done as far as the red pill is concerned, but back in the day, you just didn't have baby showers when you had children out of wedlock, male or female. You know what I'm saying? You didn't parade around and act like it was something glorious and expect people. We got to get back to a place where we have a normal. And normal is responsible adults who have made decisions. I personally promote marriage. Other people don't, but we got to do stuff that benefits children.
Right.
I mean, that's the whole point of procreating. And if you know that bringing a child, I mean, and that's the thing, we're talking about traditional men. A lot of these men talk about tradition. They have no fucking idea what it takes to be a traditional man.
Absolutely none.
Do they even know what it is to deal with a mortgage, to deal with tax increases, to keep and maintain some damn insurance? You got to pay somebody to landscape all that shit. Do they even think about that? I mean, these are just everyday petty things.
They're not thinking about it, because we see these videos with men telling women that they're going into debt for a 30-year mortgage, and they're doing it by themselves when they shouldn't have to do it by themselves. And men only buy houses when they have families. So these men don't even see the value in buying a home by themselves. They're not equipped. You ask these men about debt and they lose their mind. And they don't understand the difference between an asset and a liability. So you know, you can't even begin to have the conversations with a lot of these men.
Yeah, and I don't think they understand what it takes. I'm just saying, even just maintaining one house, just one.
Right.
You got appliances that break, motherfucking plumbing, $300. I'm just saying, it's all kind of shit. You got to be able to fix stuff and take care of stuff, replace stuff. It is a whole lot that goes into maintaining a household, paying all them bills. They think they ready to take that all that shit. You want a motherfucking modern woman, okay, Negro?
I have single friends. Like I'm married personally. I have a lot of single friends that actually own property. I don't know who these guys. I'm not saying that these cats don't exist. Like I mean, I'm like,
I mean, we
but
all know
I don't know to
men
what.
who have property. We're just talking about the consensus that
I'm
is
saying
here.
most of the cats that I know, like,
No,
that
I
they're
get what
doing
you're
pretty
saying,
good.
sir, but I'm talking about the consensus on these platforms and what you hear coming from them, and knowing that these men don't own homes. So we're not just talking about.
Some
I
of
can
them, I'm
tell if
sure,
I
yeah, they
talked about
probably
the
don't.
people in my proximity, it would clear the room. We're not talking about people in our, just people in our proximity. We're talking about what we're hearing here, what's being disseminated to the masses. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay, so Darrel, when you say you have friends that own homes, do they run a whole household? They live in that house?
Yeah.
They maintain
I have
everything
like
about
two.
the
I have
house.
two buddies who specifically they both have like contracting businesses, and it's like their passion. And like like they're building houses. They've built their own. Yeah, they're doing all right. I'm saying like I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true. I'm like, man, that's crazy because I don't see a lot of that. I mean, I'm younger, so like I know a lot of guys that also don't own property, but like they're on their square. Like they're
So you said they're
fine. They're not.
contractors, so they make a lot of money. They're high earners.
Oh yeah, they got employees. Like they're doing fine.
Okay, so you have some friends that are average in income.
Most of the people I know are average. I feel like most of the people anyone knows are average.
Okay, and so among your average income friends, that's about what, 40 to 60,000, 30 to 40, 50, 60?
Yeah.
About that? Okay, so do they own houses?
Like I said, I all I was saying is some of my friends do. I'm saying like I don't
No,
know
I'm just
like
asking questions. I'm not trying to defeat nothing you're saying. I'm asking.
yeah.
They do. They do own houses?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you must keep a nice circle of male, that's unusual to hear so many single male homeowners in that
I'm
range.
sorry that's what you're saying, but I also think
No, I'm
that's
saying it's
why
good.
stuff like this is valuable. Like we get to see like different experiences because that way, when you hear certain things, it's like, oh well, maybe it's like because sometimes you'll hear something and it's like, yo, like that's nuts, like can't be, and it's because we don't see it, but then we hear someone else say like, oh, I believe it or not, I've actually experienced that, and it's like, wow, and it makes you go back and reevaluate what was said or maybe
Yeah.
given before.
Well, the reason why I ask is because the average black man is making about 40, anywhere between 40 and 30 and 60,000, okay, on the average.
Okay.
And these are men in the red pill. That's what I'm speaking on. They are saying stuff like, I want a traditional wife. I want a traditional this. And the reality is that if you're trying to buy a house on average in America, 200,000 and up, you're talking about in the Northeast, you might be talking about $500,000 and up. Taking all that on, taking care of everything, just in a basic household. We're not talking about anything beyond that. You're talking about medical needs, dental needs. I just don't think that none of these men that keep hollering about how they want tradition and traditional, they don't really understand how complicated life is. And you want to carry all of that on your back, and you're in this range of income. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, yeah, definitely. And most people, like, especially if we look at every single person that would categorize themselves as a manosphere, red pill, content creator, most of them, again, because this is going to be every demographic for anything, are average. Like they're not doing all this stuff. And like some of the stuff that they say, it's really just parroting stuff that they've heard other people say, other people who maybe they are in a different financial bracket. And now if they're saying something disgusting, it don't matter how much you make. That's not cool. But maybe they have a little more leeway because it's like, oh, well, hey, man, that cat can afford it. Can you? No. Oh, well, maybe you should rephrase what you're saying.
Part of the problem is that you have a lot of content creators who are posing.
Yeah.
So they don't have what they're saying they have. And I talk about this with DJ all the time. He laughs at me because I pay attention to, well, that's my job, but I pay attention to everything that a person says. I also pay attention to their surroundings. Anytime somebody opens that camera up, I'm looking at the background. I'm looking around. Like these people don't have what they say they have. And then they're trying to influence a whole group of people, and they're posing like they have all these things and like they have it all together. And then when information like this is put out, or live like Yanni, they get exposed for everything, and people have thought that these people are giving them good information. Oh, this guy is a millionaire. Come to find out, he's in debt up to his eyeballs. So
Right.
people are looking to these people as examples, and they're getting it, and what they get is a bunch of jumbled up junk. And they're not actually listening to people of value. They're not actually going to those channels that are telling them how to get out of debt. They're not going to
Right.
channels that are telling them how to buy a home, how to be a homeowner if your income is a certain this. They're not telling them how to get their credit straight. They're not telling them how to start saving money, how to care for your family, how to jobs to get. I mean, I've even put things in chats and ask for like the slightest information for someone to tell me so I can help them, and they don't really want the help
No, they
because
don't.
because it's quite simple. Like and then this idea that a degree is worthless. Any 4-year degree can get you a job. Any 4-year degree, you can become an educator with great benefits. It might not be the dream job that you want. And you do have people getting degrees that they can't use or they don't want to use I would say that they're getting degrees that they can't use in the field that they want to go into, but they have no idea how to use that degree to get a different job that will benefit them just as well.
And Gemini, that's the thing that kills me when they start saying stuff like, oh, women always get sorry degrees and all that kind of stuff. And they keep on, these people don't think about education in the right way. Education is tools. Education is knowledge and understanding. How you apply that to create income is up to you. Everything does not have to do with a fucking career, a corporation, or somebody
Very
making or
true.
creating a job for you.
Very
There's
true.
a white woman who I've been following online, and she has an art degree, literally fucking basket weaving type shit. And that woman went viral. She has a multi-million-dollar home now. She went viral, and she ended up putting her paintings into print form, and she sold them in lithographs online. Blew up overnight. Her shit is everywhere. She started designing all kind of different stuff, kind of like how Martha Stewart did.
Yeah, I believe that.
Martha Stewart has got basically a degree in basket weaving. The bitch knows how to iron some shit. She knows how to fold. She knows how to fold fitted sheets. You see what I'm saying? She knows how to cook cookies. She knows how to get some damn bees. The woman turned it into something. So that idea that these men keep saying that somebody has dumb degrees and liberal arts degrees, it's about how you apply the knowledge. Tell that shit to Martha Stewart. I bet she got more money than all these motherfuckers.
Well
Exactly.
said.
And I've seen women even say, and it's the mindset, because one woman was on there and she was like, one lady was saying sometimes you have to make sacrifices. You have to sit still and make sacrifices to get to where you want. And one woman was like, oh, I have 2 degrees and these degrees need to work for me. I'm not willing to sacrifice anything. Well, stay where you are and stop complaining. Because obviously those 2 degrees aren't working for you. You don't know how to work those 2 degrees.
Yeah.
If you're still making $40,000, you don't know how to work those 2 degrees that you have.
Then the degree becomes stupid.
No, the degree is
if you're not utilizing the information,
no,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
It's like if you're not utilizing the information, then it's like, well, yeah, you got a pointless degree because you
the degree is not pointless. She didn't apply the knowledge in a way
exactly.
that
The degree is never pointless. The degree.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
no, you said the opposite.
It is pointless if they haven't
The
like if I went and got a degree.
Be pointless is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying
the degree will never be pointless. Her use of it is pointless.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, so it's because that same person, they might end up going to something like they have this big fair in Las Vegas where people bring new ideas, right? Innovative stuff. She might go there and get a spark of knowledge and get inspired and then come up with a way to actually bring her degree and her knowledge that she got in her degree to a whole new level. Everybody has a spark. Some people just don't spend enough time trying to get to it. And so this idea that a degree, I'm a person with 4 degrees, okay? And my degrees are not useless, but it's about how you use the skills and the knowledge,
Yes.
And if you think, that's where you begin messing up. If you think that your degree, like these manosphere guys, that it puts you at a place where you can only make 50,000, you've already lost.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
There is no limit to the knowledge and how much money you can make. That is stupid and ignorant to tell somebody that. There is no dumb degree. There is none. Just like there's no dumb skill. You know what I'm saying?
All
There's
right.
no dumb skill.
All right. Let's read some of these excellent chats in the chat, and then take last words. Go ahead, Gemini, if you can read this. I'm gonna get the song queued up.
Hasn't it been proven that when those Dysfunctional channels post videos about finances, education, etc., those videos get no views, but the videos that's trashing specifically Black women, they have millions of views. True. True.
Jenny B again.
May I ask a question of Darrel? I meant to ask earlier.
That's not Darrel.
Yeah, Darrel left about a while ago.
I was asking earlier. Nobody said nothing, so I thought that was him. Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Oh, no bad. No problem. Okay.
Checking for you. I can agree with you on this statement. I'm glad we're on the same page. That's great. ADOS invented country rock, hip hop, gospel, and more. I thought those clowns were kidding when I first heard Anton and Lapeef. Then I realized people listen.
That's so true.
Some of these drunks could get on here and discuss various brands and types of alcohol or something. That's true. Like, talk about what you actually know. Like, if you're an alcoholic, talk about the alcohol you consume. Hopefully, EC says, I think the overall point is the Black manosphere could be using their time so much more productively. Exactly. I'm checking for you says my undergraduate degree is useless while my graduate degree is useful. Well, how is your undergraduate degree useless when it allowed you to be able to get a graduate degree? Because you can't get a graduate degree without an undergraduate. So you're
What's your undergrad in?
So I mean, you see what I'm saying? No, that's the type of stuff. It's like none of your degrees are useless. It enables you to do something else. You have to build on it. Like, you make that degree work for you. No degree is useless.
Yeah, and networking is a big part of having a degree. A lot of people miss that.
Right. Well, we miss it. I think in my travels, I've seen that Black people do not network like white people. White people,
no, they don't.
Asian people, even Hispanic people, they network everything. They're always networking. Everything is building on. They form relationships, not even real relationships, just networking relationships, so that they can have outlets and build business deals and information. You know, it's even just information.
Oh yeah. What degree? What did she say yet?
No.
I'm curious. So curious.
Bridget, hopefully she said, Bridget Mooten, truth be told, some of these men need to sell hair, makeup, or run a beauty supply store, become last checks. As much as they talk about it, you would think that they were experts on the subject. Like, I was watching something. Oh, DJ Torch, what was that guy you had me watching abusing me? He was abusing me, making me watch this stuff. What was that one guy you had me watching who was talking about colors? He was like, dark-skinned women need to wear this type of color and this type of thing.
Oh, that was what was his name? Anthony? Was it Anthony?
I don't remember what his name was, but that's the kind of stuff I was like, what in the world? I was like, if they're that into it, yeah, maybe that's what they need to do, since they're so caught up in that. Lucy Lash says Black men will lie to Black women's faces about how well Black men are doing, as the game is to get Black women to be loyal to Black men for as long as possible, so Black men can continue the status quo without having to change or lose access to Black women. Exactly. I think it's crazy that a group of men will publicly shame the women in their community for being evicted. What man gets joy out of women and children being put on the streets? Thank you, Samo.
Gay men.
Yes. And a lot of them are. And they're hiding it.
Lots. I'm seeing so many rainbows in the damn manosphere. It need to be called Rainbow Sphere. This shit is gay as hell.
Uh-oh, you know, man, you can't say stuff like that on me. You might see that up on a thumbnail soon.
Rainbow Sphere. They so flaming. Oh my God.
Jenny B says, I've heard women talk about these males being up, I don't know, I
Kevin
guess,
Samuels.
and Dustfield rhetoric on dates, bringing up Kevin Samuels and Dustfield rhetoric on dates. They're definitely listening. Thankfully, I never run into that under any circumstances. Yeah, like, and that, I mean, it's great if they do, because it's the major red flag that you can run from immediately. Check, please, and sneak out the bathroom door. Sneak out the back. Yeah, and you know what? For real, I'm all for that. Women, drive yourselves to your own date or get an Uber to your own date. Don't tell these dudes where you live. The minute they bring up something you don't like, sneak to the your server, ask for half the bill, pay it, and bounce. Hide out somewhere. Like, you don't have to subject yourselves to this bull crap.
And to add on to that, Gemini, I made a suggestion earlier. It may be childish or crazy, but being that women are being attacked for saying I'm not interested, I was just thinking that as a solution, some sisters might go and buy you a nice, big, huge cubic zirconia, and when you want to go out and not be bothered, you just flash, I'm married, sweetie, so sweet, but I'm my husband. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. And that's what, sometimes you have to be nice to be mean. It's like, oh, thank you for your interest, but I'm already married. But if I wasn't, but I'm faithful.
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
Keep it moving.
That's what I'm talking about. So we got to protect ourselves, and we're smart.
Yeah.
We got to protect ourselves. Yeah.
And I advise any women, if you're in a state that allows you to carry, you need to be carrying. You need to be going to a range and carrying. Mace, bear spray, whatever bleach.
Gemini, you a mess.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get last words in. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, Espro, do you have any last words?
I mean, pretty much the same point that I've tried to get across with every example. There is a problem, but we need to, kind of like earlier, like I said, like you hear an experience and then you go back and you look at it again and you really look at the issue. And I think that this is hurting Black relationships. It's hurting relationships in general. The dynamics between men and women are just off. And I want to see both sides grow, get better, learn forgiveness, and honestly, just get around those that are on the same page, and like, don't worry about those that aren't, ignore them.
Sounds good. All right. May, did we ask you yet?
Oh, nah, My last thoughts is, I just think that we as women need to spend a lot of our time just loving ourselves, protecting ourselves from heart and mind and spiritually, just protecting ourselves from the negativity, and more than anything, just learning to walk away and stay away from anything that doesn't serve us. I think you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong, because we have so much to give, and giving it to somebody who's useless is just not, it's not a good thing. Throwing pearls to swine. So I just say, keep everything you got to yourself until somebody worthy appears, and demand the world from them. Everything. That's my thought.
Well said. Gemini?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for flying DJ Torch Airlines. Please fasten your seatbelts. Put your carry-on luggage away underneath your bins. Place your folding tray tables up. Turn off your electronic devices and go home.
I'd like to kick a shout out to all those A-Lady. Thank you for your links. I like to thank everyone else for your links. I like to thank your help and information. Prism, thank you for your links. Rico, thank you for your information and links. I appreciate it. Well, you know something? I think I'm gonna have a link party where everybody can come up to the panel with their own links and we can load them up on the screen. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a link party soon. Look for that. But anyway, thank you again, everyone, for making this what it needs to be. Everybody, peace. We out. You can work it. You can chat all you want while the song is on. Here we go.
Money work.
Right. Shout out. Hey, lady. Adam Bell. John. Jen J. May.
Money work.
Madison Goldman. Autos, country, rock, hip hop, gospel, and more. There's
Money work.
Lash, Eddie B, Bridget Mouton.
Un lugar para trabajar. Y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. Yo vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Shout out to We On Rock Nation.
Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah.
That's for you.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Lucas Jewel.
Money work. Corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz.
Here we go, here we go.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work.
Chicago Gorilla.
Se arregla con dinero.
Quita.
Money work.
Thank you, everyone. See you on the next one. We out of here.